Good evening, race fans. Welcome back once again. This is the MC Motorsport V8 Championship Season 1 here. The Gold Split's coming to you tonight from the beautiful south coast of Los Angeles in decidedly better condition than the real world LA at the moment. And our hearts, of course, going out to everyone affected by the fires that have ripped through recently. Welcome back, of course, though, to a much happier set of circumstances here for round 3 at the beautiful Long Beach circuit. It runs, of course, along the coastline and around primarily the Long Beach Convention and Entertainment Center with some of the most amazing views that I reckon we'll find on any of the circuits that we go to throughout this season. My name is Jared Cole, and on behalf of everyone here at Simple Racing Broadcast, we'd love to welcome you back for another week, and I am joined once again by my esteemed co-commentator, Dean Biggles-Hopton. Dean, welcome back. Good to have you here again for this week.
Yes, happy Monday evening for you, Mr. Jared. I'm glad to be back here. Of course, as you'd mentioned, you get your Bubba Burger and get everything you want here, of course, because Long Beach transforms into a motorsport battleground, blending the glamour of the city with the raw intensity of racing. Drivers tonight have to navigate themselves a challenging 1.97 mile course of precision, threading the needle between those concrete barriers and leave no room for error.
You know, I think for once, Biggles, you might be right to use miles to measure this, given that we are in the grand old US of A.
Yes, we are, sir. That's right. No
But
kilometres
for
per
those
hour
of you
here.
playing at home in Australia, 3.14 kilometres of track tonight. The conditions for this evening's race decidedly better than we've seen in the first 2 rounds, particularly from the perspective of temperature. After facing some, let's face it, hellish temperatures on the track over the last couple of weeks, we find ourselves with a gorgeous 20-degree day. The track temp 34 degrees at the moment, so still a little warm, but certainly nothing like the 60 degrees that we were looking at Winton last round. And of course, we are back for a 75 and 150k race set tonight. The top 10 grid reversed in race 2 as always, and open qualifying underway right now, Biggles. It's going to be an interesting race, I reckon. Street circuits are always fun in supercars.
Yeah, of course, with the open qualifying, you have to navigate the traffic, so you've got to find yourself some nice gaps out there because some drivers are on cool-down laps, some drivers are preparing their warm-up laps, and of course, those barriers, as I mentioned, will come out and give you a nice little hug anytime you smile at them. And so that's what's very, very interesting about this track. So you've just got to get out early. There's 15 minutes of qualifying. We are about 5.5 into it, as you've got the city skyline there at the moment. There's your aquarium as well, too, if you want to take a bit of a dip if you
Here's the really interesting thing. I was always mistaken about this, Biggles. We'll talk about Long Beach for just a second. I always thought that big round building was the aquarium, and it's not. And
it's painted like an aquarium.
It's painted like an aquarium. That is, of course, the Long Beach Convention Center, the Long Beach Arena. The aquarium is actually a small little building that we go past at the roundabout here. So
right, there is an aquarium here. Okay, that's right.
Yes. There is. You're not imagining it, but it's not what everyone thinks it is, because for some reason they paint the arena like an aquarium. Anyway, let's take a look at the championship points before we get here into round 3. And the story is all fishy at the top of the ladder. Ty Delaney, Jamie Dyke, David Kirby, and Blake Delaney absolutely raking in the points after the first 2 rounds, keeping in mind that, of course, there has been a drop round at play here. So this is the representation of everyone's best round so far. Worth calling out Pat Trappett, a new entry to the championship. He was moved up to Gold Split by Race Control since last round, so we'll see how he goes tonight as he battles against some decidedly different opposition to what he's gotten used to in the first 2 rounds. Outside of that, though, Aaron Gilbert, Danny P, Aiden Cale, Troy Maguire all in amongst it, and then David Coleman rounding out the top 10. And look, 6 of the top spots held by Fishy Motorsport. Safe to say that they're in battling hard this time around.
They are. It's going to be super exciting. Things could switch really quite early. And remember, this is the gold split. They'll also have the silver split occurring at the same time. That will be broadcasted tomorrow. I think, or Wednesday, or it's on the schedule. Check it in the check it in the YouTube.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask you this question. They scanned this track right in 2011, and as you could see on your pictures, like, I was just wondering, did they get like the Google Street View vehicle in there to scan all the buildings behind and all that sort of stuff? Because iRacing's gone into particular detail, and B, how come they haven't done other classic tracks like, street circuits? Because there's not many of them that they have. Because they've got grandstands and everything in it. Did they scan it with all the grandstands in there?
Well, this is one of the challenges for iRacing, isn't it? It's scanning these tracks while they're actually in use, and for street circuits, that means you've got to be there during a race weekend to actually do all of the scanning.
You could get out there at 2 o'clock in the morning, couldn't you, and do it? Of course, you can add the people later, but everything will be still there.
Look, as far as the buildings go, I suspect they're just hand-built by iRacing's graphic designers, but I could be wrong on that one. We will have to find out somehow at some point. Let's go down to the track for some qualifying action and bring up the noise of the mighty V8s. See how qualifying is looking around the place, and so far, not a huge amount of difference between the field, as usual, honestly. We don't often see a lot of difference in this field between various drivers and the times around the track. And if you take a look at the top 10, separated by barely more than a second qualifying run, it's going to be a very, very competitive lap.
Getting back to that one, I've done a little homework, and for the official release, iRacing did add the 3D models of the buildings, the harbour, the grandstands, and the iconic landmarks to bring the environment to life.
And it does look great. It's one of the best looking tracks on iRacing, absolutely, and certainly for a street circuit, the amount of detail that they put into the buildings surrounding is almost second to none, I suspect, as we watch race.
Could you imagine if it looked like a grassy field or something like that? It just you wouldn't feel like you're a city.
It wouldn't feel at all right. But no, here we find ourselves very much in amongst the towers that line the streets, very, very close to the waterfront, actually, the Long Beach Marina, just off to the left-hand side as these guys come down the main straight, and it's not a bad little spot to be driving around. Unfortunately, you're usually moving way too quick to actually have an opportunity to take any of it in.
The fountain, probably, that's about it, isn't it, of course. What would be your favourite corner? Of course, there's that tight hairpin right at the end before you start the start-finish line. That's a tricky one. Apparently, that's why you can't do a lot of open-wheel racing and stuff like that around here. They just don't have the turn circle for it.
I mean, if you light up the rear tyres, anything's possible, I suppose. As we see, Josh Benno set his best at 21.86 lap. Look, I took part in MC's Thursday night series last week. It was the first round of the Pro Trucks comp, and it was held here at Long Beach. I really enjoyed that last sequence coming up to the hairpin, that tight right hand off the back straight into the long couple of lefts. But that's probably because I was drifting the truck through most of that. So maybe a slightly different set of circumstances what these guys will be looking to do tonight. Danny P was on a flyer through Sector 1, just quietly. And now a little slower through Sector 2, but let's keep an eye on his time because he's looking to regain that top spot. Taken tonight by Michael Angus. Now, this is Michael's first night, if I'm not mistaken, racing with us here. And definitely have to prove a point. Another Fishies entry. Danny P was only 800ths off the time last time around. He's got 2 purple sectors on this run. Let's see what he can produce here. He's going to have to get the foot down though, because he's got a little way to go to the line yet. Looking to improve on a 120.708. Just not there. Those couple of sectors just brought him back a 121.07 that time around. Not bad still, but would have probably had just a little more there. Jimmy Dyke, of course, one of the other Fishies entries. We've seen plenty of him around the track over the last little while, and he has got some pace as well. Tonight, though, sitting back in 7th so far. Street circuits don't suit everyone, do they, Biggles?
No, it's because it's a different level of concentration. You know, you can push it, but you can't push it that much. You know, it's through the roof. It's also very difficult, of course, to navigate your way through the traffic. You've got to time it right. And on top of that, we are a little shorter on the field tonight because you mentioned it in the green room to me, and I think a lot of people are aware that Daytona 24 has exhausted a lot of drivers. They probably want to take a little bit of a break from their racing rig. Because 24 hours of endurance race is a lot of commitment. Even if you're in a team, you know, you're still doing 4-hour stints and things like that. So we'll see. And of course, coming straight to a street circuit with that concentration level, you have to have through the roof. Maybe some of the drivers have elected to. This would be my what would you call it? Skip round. Drop round.
Drop round. Why not? As we see Aaron Gilbert making his way through onto a flying lap now. While we're on the topic of the Daytona 24, a big shout out to Ben Faulkner, not with us racing here in Gold Split tonight, but did actually take out P1 with his team in their split of the Daytona 24, which is awesome.
Excellent.
So congrats.
Do you know what split that was?
I'm not sure if it was second, perhaps? Second split.
What class were they in?
They were racing the GT3, I want to say.
GT3s. Right.
Yeah.
Congratulations, lads.
Mentioned that
you and your
somewhere
team.
today. I can't think where, but if you're floating around in the chat there, Ben, just relaxing and kicking back with the supercars from the couch tonight, then say hello and tell us a little bit about it, because it did look like a lot of fun. Myself, I steered well clear of that.
Oh yeah, you did. I don't imagine you probably didn't have the time. I was going to ask you if you did manage to get behind the wheel there and crank a few hundred laps under your belt.
No, not this time around.
I guess you heard about Max Verstappen's little adventure as well, too, because it's always the talking point of any endurance races. Well, you see, good Max to be an ambassador of iRacing at least. So, but I mean, of course,
not what he'd hope for, I'm sure.
Super Max super complains when things don't go his way as well, too, just like in real life. So, he didn't go off tap like he did with the Le Mans. The Le Mans at that time, which practically after that, Le Mans 24 didn't exist.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
After Cooper, that's because they had DDoS attacks, of course, on their server and stuff like that too. But he was saying that, what did he say? Something about the fact that, it's not like real life racing. It's close, but doesn't have that feeling and all that sort of stuff. And blah blah blah. But he just made us an error. Well, he's only human. You do make errors, especially when you have to overtake 1,000 million cars.
Yeah, look, I'm not even going to dive into that. On the off chance that somehow in the future we ever get a chance to interview Mr. Verstappen here with Simple Racing Broadcast, I really don't want him reviewing this and coming back and saying, yeah, actually, no thanks.
Oh, he won't. He'll have his press crew to do that. Well, granted, that'll be hats off to you, my friend. If you're becoming important enough that they'll literally have his press agent go through there and review everything as qualifying is about to be wrapped up.
Yes, it is. As we see the grid, Michael Angus out in front, Reese Wakefield just a 10th in the end, so Angus improving his best time. Danny P and Troy Maguire, followed by David Coleman and Damon McDonald. Then Jackson Austin and Jamie Dyke, Dean Powell and Brad Cooper rounding out the top 10 ahead of Robbie Bradbury and Aaron Gilbert. Further back in the field, Nicholas Garrioch and Josh McLaughlin alongside Josh Benno and Henry King. Then Pat Trappett and Ollie Stevens just ahead of Billy J. Sinclair and Orlando Black. And we have a very, very small field this evening compared to certainly what we've been used to seeing over the last little while. We will do our very best, as always, folks, to bring you the best coverage that we can this evening. It's a tight circuit. Camera angles are hard to come by, but as always, the Simple team here to do our very, very best to bring you all of the action from tonight's round of the MC Motorsport V8 Championship. Wait now just on a few drivers jumping on. We've got quite a few drivers that are taking their time jumping on the grid this evening. But look, probably fair. No great rush. Small field. No pressure. Danny P waiting to grid up in P3. So take a look for the familiar purple entry there. The Antic Motorsports Sim Rigs.
Crowd favourite as well too. Where's all the Denny P supporters?
Yeah, look, I wonder if they were all just hanging out with the Daytona 24. Look at him though, he stands out a mile, doesn't he? Always does.
Yeah, and by the way, we are now officially announcing that we're giving a 10 kilowatt boost for one lap for the driver with the biggest fat boost.
I don't think you can do that.
Let me just see here. I'm just going to get into the backdoor code of iRacing.
You keep trying though, don't you? You're determined that iRacing is going to let you do it one day.
If they don't, I shall hack it. Oh, I'll mod it, actually. So,
here we
mod,
go. We're getting
hack.
ready to go. Lights are up. We're under starters' orders. Green flag, and we are away. Coming down the main straight of Long Beach. Really clean start. No one going down for long. No tyre speed. We're just really get underway. And we make our way down for the first time to turn one. Here they come. This is where it gets interesting, folks. We're actually going to make through a bit of a lock-up there for one of the Sideways Esports entries, but we make it through turn one reasonably clean, and Got to say, Biggles, happy to see a smaller field trying to do this tonight, because that could have been carnage with 30.
And they got through the fountain. Absolutely amazing. Hats off to you, gentlemen. And we're talking about 2x2 through some of that as well. And I don't know, I've seen a lot of races in Long Beach, my friend, and usually on the first lap, somebody's gone around. So come on, good gentlemen. Only a couple more corners to go. You can get a lap under your belt there with everybody pointing in the right direction. That would be super for your Monday night entertainment.
Absolutely. Making their way through the Pine Avenue corner, and down we come again now. A couple of moves starting to look like happening here. We're just getting a little bit of separation, trying to people that have to think about where they might start to make their way past it. Danny Petty gets pushed further back and overtakes McDonald and pulls that back, sets himself up nicely on the inside there. But Jamie Dyke trying to follow through as well, couldn't quite make the corner, so he's going to have to settle in. Let's see what we get at the hairpin for the first time. First two drivers are through. Here comes the rest of the field. We'll keep a very close eye on this, because this is where we got a bit of nose to tail there. Everyone backing it right up. But all in all,
Henry King got a little tag, but so far so good. Actually, they did come out of there. They've all escaped out of the hairpin of Long Beach alive. Congratulations, gentlemen. You've conquered the first lap successfully.
That's for, isn't it?
Let's just continue that for a few more, and definitely Jared will give you a nice little golden star on you.
Absolutely.
An A+ in your report card.
No question at all. Here we go, we're underway, and we have, of course, some of the usual suspects in the chat. The Llama's back with support for Reese Wakefield. A P2 start, still holding P2 right now. We've got another 22 laps to go. He's hoping he can hang in there. And Danny P, of course, Cram, good to have you back with us, my friend. We are, of course, making our way around the streets of Long Beach, and
we're here in Long Beach, California, and we got to do this in an American accent.
Oh, no, I refuse to. Henry King's had an incident in the background. Now, I suspect, though, that's actually just been slowing down. Reese Wakefield's had an issue. He's gone into the wall. Look at the damage on the front of that car.
Oh, no.
Not what you want to see as he drops back through the field. He's copped a lot of damage. He's just trying to limp it back to the pits right now. We'll go back and
that's on the fan out there.
He's parked it. He's parked it.
Oh, he's trying to turn it around. He's got to wait.
To turn. It's actually just that bad.
Yep.
Wow.
It's just like a Ford steering column broken.
Great opportunity though for the fishy guys out in front to start to pull away. Angus McGuire and Coleman starting to set the tone for further fishy dominance. Go back and we'll take a look at Reese Wakefield's incident there. Let's see what happened. Did he just get too deep under brakes and into the wall? What's happened?
It's about 2 under mark. See the nose dive down, so a little bit heavy on the brake. He lifted off actually.
Just too light on it. That front left is just completely disconnected. Have a look at it. It's dragging it. So that suspension, unfortunately, going to require a little bit more attention than perhaps
he's out now. Like. So he's been in there, and he's been there for about 4.3 using a fast repair.
Nothing like a fast repair, but he's going to have to hope that he doesn't do it again now, because next time around it's going to cost him a lot more time.
Billie Jane, I think Billie Jane Sinclair. I'm seeing something Billie Jane Sinclair now. Maybe after. What's been Billie Jane Sinclair?
I think what we're seeing there is, as usual, that telemetry getting a little worked up at the U-turn. These guys are slowing all the way, of course, to get around that hairpin. Danny P, though, hanging on the back of David Coleman from Motorsports. And look at the gap opening up here. Angus McGuire, Coleman and Danny P, and then everyone's getting spaced out behind. It really goes to show around Long Beach just how much difference you can make if you can just get a little bit of clearance through some of these particular corners.
Ducked in the pit lane last minute. I don't think I'll keep an eye on it for you, but I don't see any scheduled double damage on it.
Yeah, not seeing damage, not seeing any issues from race control either, so maybe he's just up a small issue somewhere along the way. Let's see how long he's in there for. 4 seconds to be a fast repair.
Some tires.
Still going? Okay. Look, entirely possible. This is an open setup. It's a possibility that he's not putting as much fuel as he would hope for the full race. I don't know. Let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah, good battles all around there. Damien and Danny. Damien and Jamie Jamie Dyke, of course, who won last week.
Yeah, got
getting the job
most
done
points overall. Absolutely. McDonald giving that spot up. Make your way through the turn.
Dean Powell's had a crash, my friend. Oh no, can't do it, Dean. You got the best name. Oh, that's heavy.
That's not just a crash. That is huge contact, and it's that same wall, the end of the back straight. He's going to have to be very careful limping that back. How he's going to see
off the
past
racing
the bonnet,
line.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's exactly when you need a T-cab, but unfortunately in iRacing, you cannot just like in the F1 game go to your T-cab.
Yeah, no,
that thing is just, come on, mate, we got trying to just nurse his way into the pit lane. Thankfully, it's not too far, so.
Well, yeah, look, that's the good thing about that wall, isn't it? It's not that far to go from there. Let's go back and just check. Actually, there's no contact with any other drivers. It looks like once again, people just pushing their braking limits at the end of this straight, and you've got to be so careful because locks it up, downshifts a little too early, and bang.
I tell you what, there's going to see some marbles forming out there a little later on too. That's going to be very interesting.
And it will. Take a look at this battle here, though. This is probably the tightest group on the pack on the field on the road. My goodness, it's been a long week. We've got Ollie Stevens, Josh Benno, Henry King, it's clustering in there. Pat Trappett.
The week's just started.
I know, mate. I know. It's just started, and already here we are. Great view here. Gives us a really good look at people taking that glance up the inside, but it's a brave move to try and get a dive done there. We've already seen 2 cars into the wall. It's not
watch out for the potholes too. You'll suck up under the downforce, and you'll be spending some time doing repairs in the pit lane.
Yeah, but don't down the main straight we go again. Of course, these guys getting their work out in terms of top speed here. It's one of the few courses that have a straight this long when it comes to street circuits. It's a really nice sweeping right-hander. But be very, very careful not to overpower the rear tyres. It is possible.
This is, I always say Long Beach is America's Monaco.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. There's passing opportunities as well, pretty few and far between. There's a couple of corners where it's the right line you can get it done, but most of the time it's about putting pressure on the driver in front and just trying to get them to keep it up.
The hairpin's probably about as slow. Well, it's not as slow as the one in Monaco, of course, but long straights. So, I mean, Monaco.
There. Yeah. Very, very lucky that there wasn't any damage sustained, but that's that Ollie Stevens just couldn't get it pulled up, and very, very smart decision to just pull it off to the left there instead of going into the wall. Watch this one again as he makes his way around, gets on the brakes hard, starts to turn, he realises he doesn't have it, and then backs it out real fast to make sure he doesn't go into the wall. Beautifully executed. Hats off Ollie Stevens. That's about the nicest save I've seen in a long time. Doesn't, however,
we've seen a lot.
Help him with his positioning.
So Nicholas is for the Frog Elite Juice Racing teams just on the tailpipe there at Robert Bradbury, and top 3, mate, are separated now by give or take, well, top 2, the second, third, and fourth. My apologies on that one, because Michael Angus rode by 2.4 and change. It's Troy Maguire is keeping his teammate David Coleman behind him, but Danny P is catching them quickly.
Just in case you missed it there, Race Control just confirming a racing incident outcome for a reported issue between 166 and 52, so Ben and came together a little earlier to the racing incident and no penalty there. Orlando Black not actually making the line tonight, so he's not in the field since time this evening. And this field really getting spread out massively. The Fishes guys are just walking away at the moment. Danny P's managing to hang with them by the skin of his teeth. Have a look at that gap. Angus and Maguire out in front. Coleman and Danny P.
Here comes the overtake as well too. Aaron Gilbert on Josh
McLaughlin there. That's a really tough corner to overtake on. There's very little room for error, because if you do mess that one up, you're into a wall. And not only that, you're into a wall around a blind corner. We've seen it before. People are absolutely T-boned. I guess you'd call it turn 1. going straight there, doesn't it?
Danny P's up to P3 now.
He's been making a move, slowly
I
but
didn't
surely.
see the overtake on. He got past. Where is
Got
it?
past Troy Maguire.
He did, yes.
As did David Coleman. I think there's been an error there on those calls. Let's go back and take a quick look. So this is David Coleman. Keep an eye up ahead at Troy Maguire. He backed it right off. I think he's got a slowdown back there. That's what's happened.
Yeah, that's a slowdown. Absolutely.
Yep.
So
And it's easy to pick up there. You go over the curb just a little too far, and it penalises you very heavily.
Troy Maguire's going into pit lane, and he stopped in his box, and he has retired. Ooh. He stopped at a different box. I don't know. He's going other place at the moment.
I'm not sure what's happened there. In any case, so it does
He's
thin the
out of
field
the
out just a
session.
little further. Brad Cooper retiring as well, so whatever the damage was to that car, after a minute and 10 of repairs, Brad Cooper has called it for race number 1. We'll see if he's back for race 2. It's not a good start for a few of these guys tonight in such a small field. A really good opportunity for some points, especially if you're usually down the back end of this field. The less drivers in there, the higher up you finish, and the more points you end up with. But these drivers not to be.
I always say sometimes these opportunities that you definitely have to try to seize, because when you come down to a tight championship at the end and you go, oh, I'm 10 points shy, and you think, if I just stuck through that race back in Long Beach, I probably would have had those. I probably would have had more than an additional 10 points. So anyway, we'll see.
Exactly. When you think about drop rounds, it's very, very easy to pick up more points here than the other. Here we go, Henry King looking to make the move past Josh Benno. Makes it. Can he pull it up in time? That's always the question.
All hail to the king of Henry, and he can. He goes power sliding out of the corner, but there it is. Bold and brave there for the Team Jinx shifters, and he shifted up and got the job done. Turns it around. Full snap of the steering wheel. That's full opposite lock.
Both of them.
On the loud pedal. Remember, there's going to be a lot of marbles kicking up out of the end of that hairpin too later on too. So you're going to be a little bit more gingerly on the loud pedal. Otherwise, you're going to find no traction there whatsoever. It's going to be like an ice skating rink.
And you can already see it as they make their way into that hairpin. It's starting to get very, very dicey on the outside of that. So they're going to have to keep a close eye on it. Meanwhile, David Coleman, Danny P right on his tail now. So Danny P looking for P2.
I think it's very much possible. He's been working on that for a while now, and there's traffic coming into play. But yeah, going back to that with those marbles too, you got to remember, Jared, when you're out there doing some practice with your mates, just running laps, it's only you and probably a couple other cars, right? So you're not kicking up that many marbles. You add another 19 odd cars out there at the track with you, those marbles start forming. Have you practiced for that?
Have a look at it this time through. Look at the amount of debris already on the track there.
Then again, they probably are used to a lot of that from Le Mans 24, but then it got washed away, didn't it, with some of the rain?
It did, yeah. Daytona copped a downpour. About 24 hours stint. Nothing like that here, though. Long Beach turning it on with weather, as always. Absolutely beautiful, and really a bit of a reprieve for these drivers after suffering through Australian summer for the first couple of rounds. A little bit of California winter doesn't look so bad to me.
Yes, exactly. Well, I think this is Michael's race to lose, essentially, at this point, because he should have it to win. Well, heat, no doubt.
Seconds out in front, big lock up there.
He's just got traffic to hopefully kindly get out of his way when they start slicing and dicing through there. But the 205 machine is looking good. It's more about that battle for P2, isn't it? Daniel and David, and that's not a law firm.
Here they come. David Coleman leading Danny P through. Danny Dyke's trying a big slide through the corner from Danny P. He's getting to grips with this supercar very, very nicely as the season unfolds. Angus is just comfortably holding that 3-second margin still. All the work to be done here by Coleman and Danny P if they do want to challenge for P1. As it stands, though, they're battling it out for P2. Danny P, he's not putting quite as much pressure as perhaps you'd think, but it's one of those things with these street circuits, isn't it? You've got to give yourself enough room to avoid the driver in front hitting the wall as well. It's a fine balance to just get enough pressure off the driver ahead to force him to look in the mirrors a little too often, without actually putting yourself at risk. Probably leaving himself a little far out of the draft right now as Colin makes his way into that first turn, right next to the aquarium we referred to earlier. Marbles and debris just flying piling up off the tyres as they make their way through there. A little further back, Josh McLaughlin now going after Aaron Gilbert.
Yeah, clearly under attack there from Josh.
They've been back and forth a little bit tonight, but really the field getting very, very spaced out here. Just part and parcel of a street circuit with corners like Long Beach has. You just really can't take anything other than one line through most of them. So you saw at the start of the race, of course, that concertina effect, particularly into the hairpin and through that aquarium roundabout. Get that bit of a concertina, it's just like peak hour traffic, isn't it, Biggles?
Well, if it's Californian traffic, then yeah, you wouldn't be moving. Certainly. I don't know if you've ever been in California, mate, but it's horrendously horrible. I just like it. Reese Wakefield makes his way up to P15 over getting past Billy Jane Sinclair there.
Not Billy Jane really just staying out of the way there. Wakefield starting in P2 is a long way down. Those repairs hurting him, unfortunately. A couple of visits to the pits. So not quite sure what's happened there. We might have to try and get some inside goss later on. Pat Trappett, meanwhile, he's hanging in there for his first time in Gold Split. Up 6 spots into P11, so can't be too upset about that. And then Rivers leader, of course, nipping the boots. Up front, though, here's where the battle continues. Coleman and Coulton going out at P2. Danny P just hovering, waiting for his moment to strike, just really taking his time to set up the perfect pass here. He's got a nice line.
Might have it right
Coleman's
here.
Coleman's had to drop off there.
Left.
I wonder if that's a slowdown.
It's possible. We'll see if it continues to go slow. Doesn't seem like it.
No, I think he's picked up a slowdown a couple of corners ago. He's just run it off there, because to sit out wide like that and for Danny P to go past so easily, he's absolutely clearing the way so that he could get that slowdown sorted.
You might want to be the predator instead of the prey and switch it around. Some drivers do like that, you know. Like, look at him. He's hanging with him. He might not be bad on that one. You know that, and there are certain tracks as well too. If you get that nice slipstream in a tow, of course, there's no DRS here, but I know that in the Formula One, you know, a lot of drivers will actually prefer to be in P2 in the last couple of laps rather than be in P1 because of the huge DRS effect. But I'm not going to see too much of that here. All the Americans out there in the audience go, "What are these cars? They ain't NASCAR." But it becomes a little wiggle out of the corner there from Danny P. As we're seeing still that battle there with Henry King, isn't it? On the back there.
Yeah, Henry King has just started to reel trap it in, and he's going to have a crack at making his way past here. Been hovering around that 3.5 tenths gap for a little while now. Was looking threatening coming into the hairpin, but at the moment the two of them working together well just to keep the battle focused on the cars ahead, and they are very, very slowly reeling in Robbie Bradbury as well. Just a tenth a corner at the moment. Bradbury's going to have to start watching his mirrors very, very soon, because these two are coming for his position. Lap 14 now with 24, and Biggles, I don't know about you, but honestly, this race going a little quicker than Winton did.
It is, and it's going to be a little bit more of a race of attrition here as well, because this is when the little bit of fatigue and a little bit of mental blank can creep into these drivers. You're driving on the limit all the time, as you know that those walls can come out and bite you, and the cars start to get a little bit looser and a little bit slipperier.
And you've got to look up inside.
And you look up at the timing tower and you go, "Oh, I've still got 10 laps to go, essentially, or 9 laps now."
Take a breath, settle
down.
So
you think, I've still got a bit to go here, so let's just not push it too much. Let's not risk it for the biscuits just yet, because, you know, I've got a car, it's working, I'm pointing in the right direction, I'm putting in some speed, and I've still got time to make these attacks when required.
As we said earlier, good points on offer for everybody here, so really. See, King now just taking advantage of the slipstream. There's not much aero on these Gen 3s, but you can get in there, pick up just those extra few K, and now we're down the straight here at Long Beach. It's going to be enough to close that gap up. Through the roundabout we go again.
I think it's more the psychological. I really does. I think if you're filling their mirrors up full of your front fender, that is the perfect way to throw your opponent off. And we do see it so many times as the driver ahead makes those little mistakes because they're mirror driving. And I've always said, don't mirror drive, whack your mirrors off. Don't just rip them off. They rely on a spotter to tell you what's happening behind you.
at least at a standard racetrack, your mirrors might be full, but you can have a bit of a look out and about. And,
Will,
see
Michael's
quite open
in.
spaces.
Michael is in pit lane.
Oh. Michael
So
Angus
race
going into
leader.
the pits.
After
Now,
about a 6-second
can't
gap.
be a refuel, surely.
I'll keep an eye on it for you.
These guys should be able to make this with no stop.
I'll run down there and listen to his wheel gun.
Let's have a look though at.
He's going up in the jacks.
It's happening.
He's going up in the jacks at the moment, mate. He's taking tyres.
Yeah.
Looked like he was taking.
No incidents. Ollie
Yep.
Stevens has had a bit of a moment.
Maybe he's think that these tyres are falling off the cliff, mate, and he doesn't think he can do another 10 to go to the end.
Maybe, or maybe he's feeling so confident he can pick that back up with the 10 laps to go. We'll go back and take a quick look.
With 12 cars ahead of him on the track?
It's a big ask.
No, I don't think so, Jared. He's not that quick.
Ollie Stevens coming down to turn 1.
It's a 30-second gap now to the race leader.
Big slide.
Oh.
Just tags the tyres.
He was in
Thankfully,
drifting
not too much
competition.
damage. But you know what that means? For everyone playing at home, say hello to your race leader. Crowd favourite Danny P is now out in P1.
I want to keep an eye on these lap times now because Michael Angus, who was
here we
leading
go.
this race.
Coleman gets the line.
Wow.
They're going to be side by side down to turn 1 at this rate. Danny P
Somebody's
holding
going to have
off.
to lift.
Going to have to,
Or don't
yeah,
lift.
a lot of pressure on. Oh, Danny P squeezing him and maybe puts himself at risk a little bit.
Yeah, there was
a little
Doran.
bit of rubbing there.
There's Doran.
Coleman backs it off, but he's going to be all over the back of Danny P for that one. That was, look, that was a little ambitious from Danny P. I'm going to say that he's gotten the result he was after, putting that pressure on and really squeezing Coleman. But
Maybe they're getting that big call up now. Go, hey, we can win this race down at Michael boxed.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't expect Coleman will be so kind next time. I reckon he'll let Danny just pit himself across the front of Coleman's car. Not careful.
Michael just came out and did 21.2, so he was actually 2 tenths slower than the leaders, but that's of course out of his first lap coming out of from some fresh tyres, so he's probably just getting the temperature into him. Fortunately, time is not on his side too much.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be counting on. Look, anyone's guess really is what happened there. What we can tell you is that there's no damage that we saw come up anywhere for Michael Angus. I'll take a quick look and just see if we. Definitely none anywhere.
No, I don't see anything. I've been keeping an eye on
in our
too.
telemetry, so he's had a really clean run. Why he's had to come in for pit stop?
His car was looking good too when it was coming into pit road. I didn't see any visible damage.
Yeah, likewise. There's really no reason.
Josh is. Oh, no, sorry, my apologies. It looked like Josh was in for a second. I think it was just blinking.
Yeah, McLaughlin is having a few issues there with his connection tonight. We'll keep our eyes up front though, because Coleman continues to make Danny P work for that top position. Never really straying outside that 4/10 margin. Goes a little closer, a little further away, depending on the corner, but these guys locked in. A big moment from Coleman as he come up over that ridge. Just enough weight lifting off the car to let the rear tyres break loose. But straight back onto it, straight back into that 3/10 zone. Danny P's not getting away with this one anywhere near as easily as he probably hoped to.
You don't think that Michael got that many off tracks that he had a penalty? And he had to have a drive-through, but you can actually get your tyres fixed.
I mean, it's possible. I don't have an off-track count. If you can have a look at it for us, Biggles.
No, I don't see the off-track counts that accurate anyway that I get here. So
it seems unlikely. There's you can certainly cut a couple of these corners, get yourself an off-track, but. I mean, you're surrounded by walls. How far off track can you really go here at Long Beach?
You usually get a slowdown on the track at the time anyway. You don't barely get a drive through unless you're big city, so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at 17 or so before the drive-through kicks in. It certainly didn't treat it as a drive-through. I don't believe iRacing counts it as a drive-through.
And he hasn't been blissfully quick since, mate. I'm going to have a look what he does in this lap now. He's going to cross over the line.
running 22s now. So
22s, yeah. He's actually just lapping about 2 tenths slower than the leaders.
interesting.
So, and he's on fresh rubber, so we don't know. We'll find out, no doubt, in about 5 laps. But,
It's a mystery. Meanwhile, Danny P's found a little bit of extra pace. Opening that gap up a little on Coleman, he's going to have to work to bring it back. And of course, down the straight is the opportunity for Coleman to start to close it down as Danny P punches a hole in the air ahead of him. It's not going to be enough, though, to bring it back. And yeah, Paulton just seems to have found his stride here at Long Beach, got a nice line going. That's going to cost him a little bit, though. A mistake in the hairpin brings Coleman right back into it. And that little bit of a gap that Paulton's been working on starts to evaporate. They make their way down the straight once again. Crowds packed into the stands to see these supercars make their way around the streets of Long Beach.
Yeah, and iRacing can actually build a couple more grandstands themselves out too.
Yeah, look, we need a bit more support for it, and maybe we can afford a couple of grandstands next time around. You never know.
It'll be an upgrade. They'll buy an extra track. All right.
Sure, why not at this point?
We've got some great new upgrades to Long Beach track, and you purchase it and you find out it's just about another 3 more grandstands. That's it.
Look at that gap open up there. Danny P just puts another 2 tenths on Coleman through that corner. He's absolutely nailing that. Coleman's tyres starting to struggle just a little, perhaps. But, Danny P very, very comfortable. We'll take a look back at some of the other battles going on, because there are a couple floating around. Aaron Gilbert has been hassling Jackson Austin for, I think, about the last 6 laps. Just has been locked onto his rear bumper. And again, trying to find a place to make a pass here at Long Beach, it's really tough. You're really counting on mistakes on your opponents. You know, even just a tap of the wall can cost you so much pace down these straights. And really, that's got to be what Gilbert's hoping for here. Jackson Austin, though, staying very, very consistent.
Just door them. Just turn them.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah. Of course, they won't do that here at the MC Motorsport League, because these drivers are not fools like me. They drive sensibly, they drive responsibly, and they drive quick.
Take a look off the back here of Nicholas Garish's car. Right behind him, you've got, of course, Roy Bradbury and Henry King just a little bit further back. Take a look at the pace.
Is that like GoPro camera again? You slap on the side of the car this time?
I mean, better than on the track, right?
Yeah, true.
Nice change.
You still owe me one.
Yeah, look, only one so far. I'm expecting to damage a few more than that. There's the Bubblegum Shrimp Co. in the background as we make our way through the roundabout once again.
I've had it too in California.
Is it any good? This is the real question.
Overrated.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Well, you know, you might expect a lot going on. Go find a mum and pop shop around the corner, it's probably 10 times better. But it's not about the food, it's about the motor racing. And we are currently on lap 21 of 24 as we'll close down for our first heat race as Danny P trying to hold on to that P1 place. Of course, a few battles that are brewing, as you can see in your pictures further back, and that's around the 7th, 8th and 9th places. Josh, Nicholas and Robbie are going for it tooth and nail, and should around for some crucial points, as you'd mentioned, when you don't have a full stack crew of drivers.
Yeah, it's a much smaller field than we're used to. Here we go, going on board now with Coleman, and this will give you a view of just how tight this track actually is. Like trying to find a way to pass here anywhere at all. It's just
simple,
it's just
mate. You got to think in 3 dimensions. Go up.
Go up.
You're thinking 2D.
Yeah, look, maybe that is my problem. That is my problem. You just need to get some air.
That's the jump button. No, because Danny's going to try his absolute best. But, you know, they're going to be looking at a fishy 1-2. Or, sorry, it could be a fishy 1-3 if David Coleman can get past Danny P.
Big ask. These two, though, have a look at the gap they've opened up to Jamie Dyke. 11 seconds. That is monumental.
And you're talking about the man that won last week as well, too. We know has some serious pace.
We know he's quick, but this track is...
His qualifying let him down, I'd say, as well, too, because he's up 5. So you'd imagine if he was probably a little bit higher up in his qualifying, he may very much be mixing with these 2 top guns right now.
And then, though, 11 seconds is a long way. I know clear air has a lot to play for here, but this is a huge gap. that the top two have put over the rest of the field.
That's
I'm
true,
surprised they
Jared.
haven't
And they've
lapped
been
more of them.
kind of consistently lapping in the 121 clubs. Practically everybody else on track has been the 22s.
Makes a huge difference. Coleman getting the better run there, just really getting up onto the rear bumper of Danny P. Taps the wall though on the way out, and that's going to send him back further. You can see how just a tiny mistake around Long Beach can cost you so much pace and so much time. You know, we're only talking
the walls, mate.
tenths
It's just like Monaco, as I said, Monaco in the US. It's punishing if you get it wrong. It's so rewarding, but if you get it right.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And it's not that you're actually losing. You're not actually losing so much time that you're out of it from tapping the wall, but it's more just the relative time that you lose if you're on the tail of someone. You know, you can go so quickly from being 2/10 off the pace to a half second back, and all of a sudden, a place like Long Beach, it's actually really, really hard to catch them up. You really have to be turning in solid laps every single time. Have a look at the little pack that's come together here. We're back now with the battle for 8th. Robbie Bradbury finds himself at the head of Henry King, Nicholas Garage, and Pat Trappett has joined the party as well. So this is the battle for 8th as we enter the final lap. David Coleman's made it past. David Coleman has passed Danny P just out of the hairpin there. We'll go back and take a quick look at that before we get with them on the final lap here. Takes a wider line.
Over under, look.
Yeah,
wow.
look at that.
How did he get the
Beautiful.
traction and the marbles there?
Executed that to perfection.
He's completely off the racing line. You usually always know slow in, slow in, fast out, and he was super fast out. He just found some sort of miracle traction down to that corner. And usually off the racing line, you get those marbles, you'd think you'd get no grip there. This is a story to tell for the upcoming feature race.
Absolutely. Danny P's going to have to do a lot of work to get this back. He might try and duplicate that. Goes very, very wide. Here's the different line. Defensive from Coleman. Danny P translate this to extra pace down the back straight.
I wouldn't. I'd hold off and try that same maneuver. It looked like it was going to work like a charm, and it looks like he may be too. He's not going to.
No,
he's going to
send dive here. Going to send it up the inside. This is dangerous for both of these drivers. Big contact. Danny P goes sideways. He's going to have to give that up. He's got no choice. And that's going to
Danny, mate, you might have to listen to us up here and take a memo, actually, from what David did before. There, you could have gone for it right there, Danny, but too late now.
Oh, he's given it a good crack, though.
Yeah.
Just like that. David Coleman bringing it home. There's the checkered flag. A win to Coleman. Danny P not far behind. And here comes Jamie Dyke now. Look at the distance between them.
Absolutely. Yeah, these two were just in another league of their own, really. Those 121 clubs, consistent 121 clubs. And on top of that, remember, they're battling. And you usually know for a fact when you got two cars just going for it tooth and nail, they tend to be about 2/10 a lap slower on average. But in this case, these two guys love dueling it out. Absolutely fantastic between David and Daniel. And, well, David almost denied the Fishy Motorsports another race win on that one, but Fishy Motorsports did get themselves at P1 and P3, and it'll be interesting on that reverse grid scenario. Still so curious to know what happened to Michael Angus, who's clearly had the race win literally in the palm of his hands, and I said his own worst enemy. In this case, he was, because he went down pit road. We don't know why. He came back out, didn't have the speed that he had when he was running at the front.
This is that pack of 4 before. Henry King's gone into the wall somewhere amongst this. So he was battling this out. Oh, yeah, just gets the rear end loose over those
he almost
curbs
just a day late, dollar short. For a second, 340 could have just nailed his nose to the corner, and that will be all she wrote for the first heat race.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get a bit of a view here. So, end of heat 1. Race 1 tonight, Fishy Motorsports taking out first and third. David Coleman delivering, just getting past Danny P in the dying stages. Jamie Dyke coming through in third ahead of Dave McDonald and Jackson Austin. Aaron Gilbert from Team Jinx in sixth ahead of Josh McLaughlin. Robbie Bradbury managing to lead that pack home. Nicholas Gariosh, Pat Trappett, his first showing in gold, a P10. Can't be too disappointed about that, even with the reduced field size tonight. Josh Benno in 11th ahead of Michael Angus, who you've got to think really was the favourite for this one, Biggles, so given how far out in front he was, but not to be for whatever reason. Henry King, not a bad result there at all. and then Ollie Stevens and Reese Wakefield ahead of the later finishers. But we are joined in the booth by none other than David Coleman, our Race 1 winner. David, welcome to the commentary booth.
How are you, boys? It's been a while since I've been to a booth, but congratulations on the broadcast too. It's pretty crystal clear, so it's a good one to watch.
Well, mate, we're trying to show off as best we can the moves that you're putting on out there, and that was an absolute masterclass of a pass through that hairpin. How the hell did you get traction over all of that debris?
I won't give a secret, but I don't know, just getting good drive out of that corner. So it actually surprised me how much drive I had compared to Daniel. So yeah, very surprising. Didn't think
we're
I'd get
taking
it there.
notes up here, mate. We were kind of thinking, why wouldn't Danny P do the exact same thing to you on that last lap? You know what I mean? Because it looked like it was going to work. But hey,
well, I
he
tried
didn't
to
get the
cover
memo,
a bit,
David.
but I probably covered a bit too early. I ended up putting myself on the outside, but I think he knew you were going to both end up in the fence. So I think he probably gave a bit of room on that second last corner. So that was good of him.
Yeah, look, he certainly gave it his all, as always, and a great battle to watch. The two of you, though, just an absolute league of your own, 13 seconds ahead of Jamie Dyke. Was it just the clean track that you had out in front with no other cars getting in the way, or were you just that much quicker? Setups?
Like, going by the time, it was a couple of tenths each lap. Michael Angus, he was rolling in front. He actually underfilled. He thought it was a 20-lap race, not a 24 lap.
So it was fuel. There you go.
Yeah, and
yeah, we were wondering, mate. Yeah, we were like, just throwing it
so
away.
he had a good lead, but the start, I think, really separated the top four with Jamie. So Jamie, I think, was deep in the maybe 7th or something. So I think that bit of traffic on the first few laps probably, gained that buffer. So
that'll be interesting too, mate, because you guys were doing 120, mid 121s pretty much on average in the field, and everybody else was doing the 22s. And obviously, in that case, Michael was too, but we now realise he was a lot lighter. When he came back out after fuel load, he could only manage the 22s. So
yeah, I was a bit surprised that we got back into the 21s. Like from about lap 8 onwards, but I don't know if the track temp dropped out of them, but yeah, the set was quite good. So it's a learning curve, these cars.
Not wrong. Look, worked out nicely for you in race 1. Awesome win. You're now going to be starting, of course, from 10th on the grid. What are the strategies and what are the plans here to make your way through that pack ahead over this second race? What do you got up the sleeve?
Just got to keep it clean. I think keep off the walls and watch the field coming through. So I reckon maybe an early pit stop. Like, we know the tyres hold on, so maybe an early stop and try and beat some of this traffic.
There you go. Well, Dave, we'll let you go and get ready. Congrats on your first win here with the MC Motorsport League, and hopefully get a chance to chat to you again after race 2.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Have a good broadcast.
David Coleman joining us there, the winner in race number 1, and really just both he and Danny P putting on a show for us through race 1. It is going to be really interesting.
I don't think it's over, is it?
No, there's plenty more to come.
I think it's going to be, exactly. And why not? Because those two clearly are quick. I like to see Michael Angus's pace now with that correct fuel load, to see what he's going to. Obviously, he's going to be punishing because he's have to start a little bit further back in the field there now because he didn't finish inside that top 10. I don't believe.
Well, that's it. He's going to be starting back in 12th, so he misses out on the opportunity to reverse.
But he won't be too far away from those two guys, of course. Danny and Damon. So that'll be interesting if he is on that tailpipe hanging with him for sure. But also, if it's very difficult to pass, you're going to see the likes of these other drivers that did finish in the lower order of inside the top 10. Will be able to see if they can get up the road there and put those banker laps in and clear air and try to clear the field.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all to be done as we get ready to go racing again. Race 2 is just around the corner. The Long Beach sunset just starting to come into play a little. We're not going to see night racing here, which I think I'm not too upset about, honestly, Biggles. This is a punishing track at the best of times, much less trying to do it under lights.
Have you seen it at the night racing? I don't recall if I have.
No, I haven't, and I don't want today to be the
They might not have night racing
first time either, honestly.
iRacing will put in all these artificial buildings, but they won't put artificial lighting.
Won't light them up. Matt Trappett gets a start on pole with the reverse top 10 alongside Nicholas Garrios, then Robbie Bradbury, Josh McLaughlin, Aaron Gilbert and Jackson Austin. David McDonald and Jamie Dyke in row 4, and row 5, Danny P and David Coleman starting from the back of that reversed top 10 ahead of Josh Benno and Michael Angus. Further back through the field, we've got Henry King and Ollie Stevens. Keep your eye, of course, on Michael Angus back there in P12. Reese Wakefield, Billy J. Sinclair ahead of Dean Power and Troy Maguire. Then Brad Cooper is hopefully back in. He looks like he's gritted up this time, so he's had the car repaired. Orlando Black doesn't look like he'll be joining us, unfortunately, for race number 2 here tonight. But we are getting ready to go racing once again. We're under starters orders. All the cars gritted up. We are ready to go. Revs coming up now. The lights are out and we are away. Green flag. We make our way down to turn 1 once again. Look at 3 wide, 2, 3 wide, even 4 wide as we make our way through. Everyone somehow, so have a look at this entry to turn 1. Big lockup. That's Jamie Dyke, heavy on the brakes. See if we can survive turn 1 here. Somehow everyone's managed to get it sorted out. Huge effort. Oh, big spin. Big spin. That's probably Bradbury sideways in the fountain.
Michael Angus as well couldn't get around him, so I did eventually, actually. They lifted off a little bit and allowed him back through to resort the order. I reckon restack him.
I can take a look at that in just a second, but out in front, thanks to that minor moment, Trappett, Garriosh, Gilbert, McLaughlin and McDonald all getting away. Jamie Dyke now much further back, heading up effectively a second pack here. These 5 have got a huge advantage and they're going to have to make the most of it. Here come the chasers though. All just streaming through the back half of the pack now. Oh, big contact with the wall. Is that Wakefield coming out? What was that? That might have been.
You mean the wall came out and hit Reese Wakefield?
Yes, of course. Sorry. Of course it did, yes.
How dare you blame the driver?
Wakefield's going to be carrying a bit of damage on the left-hand side. We'll see how it affects his pace. And a big moment there through the hairpin. We've seen it a million times before.
Anybody going to try it? Actually, Danny P's going to almost attempt it, mate. He almost attempted to pull off now the famous David Coleman maneuver. What are we calling it? Now we're going to call it the David Coleman corner.
It's starting to sort itself out.
Oh, Danny P
out in front.
Tank slaps the fence too, coming down the lane straight away. As you're seeing that fantastic camera angle of the fountain that the drivers will be swimming in there and celebrating later on.
Oh, big sideways moment. That's Ollie Stevens. No, sorry, Billy J. Sinclair getting very loose into turn 1, just managing to hold it together. Action going on up and down throughout the field here.
Pat Trappett on a big attack there from Nicholas, who goes a little bit sideways for the Frog Leap Juiced Racing team. And they're starting to form a little bit of a gap actually now to Damon McDonald in P3. So we're starting to see these little packs forming already on lap 2, similar to what we did on heat 1.
Here comes David Coleman too. David Coleman's got
DC.
some clear ahead. Joshua Bennett behind him has Michael Angus looking for a way through as well.
Yep, I'm renaming it the Coleman corner from now on, mate. The hairpin is now the Coleman corner.
No problem, sweet to do that. Yep. Michael Angus goes through and Josh Benno very deep under brakes there. Two Fishies drivers reunited in the pack for just a little while longer. Jamie Dyke just ahead of them also. Pat Trappett though, making the very best of that start. Let's go back and see if we can take a look at just what on earth happened. Robbie Bradbury, the first to have an issue. Keep an eye on it. He's just in the middle of your screen here, on the brakes early, gets some contact on the inside. That pushes him sideways in the fountain there.
Yep, Angus gets into him.
Oh, that rejoin though. Oh, look.
It cost him too much time.
You know, that's the question, right?
There.
Oh, yeah, bit of a moment there. Wakefield.
Good thing about it is you've got enough
Benno.
cars around you so that you can't really do a full spin. They'll kind of like point you in the right direction, thankfully. Give you a little nudge and say, come on, mate. I'm going to point this way. Let's go racing.
All you can do here. Billy J. Sinclair getting caught up in this battle group. This is right down the back of the field. As we let everyone sort themselves out. Finally onto lap 3. And all of the drama happening. Josh McLaughlin heading up what is probably the closest pack we've seen for a while. The first race certainly didn't start off quite this close to the leader for this number of laps. It got spaced out very quickly as everyone came to terms with the Long Beach circuit. But now that they've all been around it a few times, and settled in for this 48 lap second race.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. To put that little urban myth that I was talking about with Michael Angus, if he's quick or not under the heavy fuel load, yes he is. He just hit the fastest lap on the last lap, and he's up 4 positions in P8.
121.72 from Michael Angus. So very fast. And in
Yep,
fact,
so fuel tank or
only
light tank, he is quick.
Yeah, only the third driver into the 21s, Danny P, back in 10th at 21.9, and Damon McDonald up in third at 21.99. So yeah, keep your eye on Angus because he can move his way up through the field.
And that's in traffic too, yeah, he's got a gag of cars ahead of him,
exactly
you can see in your pictures.
Hoffman just doing his very best to hang on to the back of Aaron Gilbert while he's being threatened by Doug Coleman and Angus, the three Fishies drivers right behind him, all looking for their opportunity to get past. Jamie Dyke's going to have a bit of a look up the inside there, but nothing doing just yet. Hasn't quite got the pace. It's a difficult track to find a pass on.
That's the thing I was going to ask you as well too. We did hear, obviously, from the man who won the first race before, like whether or not there might be an opportunity for somebody going early pit stops to get out of this traffic and see somewhere along the line before the track starts spreading out completely. Use that clean air to your advantage. Put those banker laps in. Of course, you'll struggle a little bit later on, perhaps with gasoline mileage, but that's an opportunity to get out of the traffic and get clear air. But I don't think anybody has elected to do that. Billy J did, but Sinclair, but I believe he had an issue with the wall coming out of the slate.
Yeah, look, honestly, you're still only going to want to do this as a one-stopper. Danny P set the fastest lap there at 1:21.69. Yeah, I think what you'll find, there'll be some drivers trying to get in early, but we're not talking lap one early. We're still going 48 laps here. That is a bit of an ask for fuel load.
What do you think they can do on a tank?
Oh, look, around Long Beach, you'd probably get
And you heard from Damon that the tyres didn't feel that punish. He did personally didn't feel that the tyres were that punishing. So you can certainly do, like in the Heat 1, 30 laps, no problem.
We'll start to see some stops considered around lap 15. That's my prediction.
I'll hold you to that one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how it goes. Just write that down. Add me to the pool for a sweep for the office. As we see McLaughlin really struggling. He's trying so hard to hold these two behind him. At bay, Jamie Dyke and Coleman just keeping the pressure on. There we go, a 5-second time penalty issued to Josh McLaughlin for lap 1, that final corner. So he's going to have to hang in there because 5 seconds right now would put him right back in about 11th. That's where that landed in. That time penalty was applied, so not a lot to separate the field. It will cost him 5 spots at this stage. That will be applied.
Yeah, when does he have to serve that one? The question is, he goes loosey-goosey around the felt.
That won't be served at all.
Right, at the end of the race. I wouldn't worry about that. Lap 5 to 48, lap 6 to 48 at this point. Just need to get your head down and
keep pushing.
Exactly, worry about
Here comes Jamie Dyke up the inside. Can he get through? No, he has to pull back out of that move. Not quite enough there.
If he was in Formula 1, he'd be on the radio, going to you, and then what up and stuff like that to on the radio so that race control can hear it. But these drivers are much more professional.
Of course. Jamie Dyke looking for another move. He's got lots of pace. He's going to pull in. No, he's just hanging in there. Happy to apply the pressure. Doesn't want to risk his car at this early stage, and that's smart driving. That's the difference. You do get a driver who's thinking long game. It's lap 6 of 48. It's not worth the risk of overtake here. What is really marginal gain overall, and a whole lot of risk of damaging the car and possibly taking it to the teammates just behind you.
And we saw that, didn't we, in Heat 1? Like, a lot of drivers were risking it too much, or risking it for the biscuit, because, probably coming off that 24-hour Daytona, as we'd mentioned, as well, some people, that's they go, there's your little dress rehearsal. They know very much that you can't win on lap 1.
Let's take a look up front. The front three is trying to open up a little bit of gap. Garnish has gotten past Trappett quite a few laps ago. He hasn't really been shaking any further. Of course, Damon McDonald hanging in there. Really to show you how much closer this pack is.
And Dean Powell's on the fence. Dean Powell is into the fence just before the fountain, and he is backed up almost into the fountain. Actually, he's having to spin it around. Thankfully, there's a little bit of a gap. Yep, nobody's around behind him, and that'll push it. Unfortunately, Dean Powell down to P16, but no, he's going to have some damage on that car.
So take a quick look at that one as we keep an eye on Jamie Dyke here, see if he's going to make a move. It's see what happened to poor old Dean in just a moment. Jamie Dyke has had a few conversations before. Big moment there for Coleman, but I think it's actually just getting that inside drive. He's pretty well nailed the drive out of that head. So this is Dean Power coming down.
He's trying to crab walk back to the pit lane too right now, but this is going to be before the fountain.
Oh yeah,
there, it's an unusual spot actually, isn't it?
T-boned by the tyre wall.
I reckon he's hitting the anchors like a little too early heading into that corner hot, and it's forced him into the inside apron there, and he ended up flipping it around and going to the fountain, and then he's still crab walking.
Oh, that's going to be a slowdown for Jamie Dyke, surely. Keep an eye on this. Dyke's cut that field out massively. Going for the pass here, but I'm sure he's got to slow down, obviously. If not, he must have had millimetres of the tyre past
There it is.
Very, very wide. There he goes.
Yep, there it is. So I had to lift the hell out to... Oh, no, that's not Dyke there in the background. Who was that had...
No, that was
hit the fence too.
In the background. Round he goes.
That's Josh.
That's a painful spot to have to stop, because he is now going to be hung up on that for quite some time. This is an opportunity to move. No. Is the car done?
No, station. Is Josh the one that also got served that 5-second penalty as well?
Correct.
Oh, and he's towed back to pit road. So that's when it's going to be even more punishing. Maybe he was a little upset about that one, but you got to keep that frustration. I saw that earlier actually in the league that I was commentating for, when a driver actually got penalised for the pit lane was closed, the red light on the pit lane exit, and he jumped it, and his control got on top of that one. They caught him out and sent him to an EOL, but he ended up fighting his way back and getting the race win. He used that negative energy and turned it into a positive outcome.
It's very uplifting and motivational for you Monday evening.
Oh mate, the glass is always full.
Not even half full, always full. I like it. So now, Jamie Dyke's already zooming in on his next target, Aaron Gilbert. Has been enjoying a little bit of reprieve from pressure for a while there.
Oh, Nicholas! Into the fence, mate. Sorry, it just up the road there, out of the right-hander before you come up to the sector 3, and that's a bit of a tank slapper to the back there. He will lose that position to Damon McDonald now up to the P2. I don't know if that juiced-up machine is still firing on all cylinders. Hopefully it will be, as he's making his way around Coleman Corner.
It's all right for the moment. But certainly that's brought the rest of the field into play here. So Traffic finds himself out in front with a significant pack of cars on his tail. This is going to be a much, much closer race, I suspect, than we saw in race number 1. 10 laps in. Let's go back and see if we can catch what happened with Gariosh. I don't know if we'll get a shot here or not, but
you should see on the exit.
There we go, big slide, taps the tyre wall.
Bang.
Yeah, that's
chop those buildings down, iRacing. You added them. We don't need them in that angle. Anyway, but what I wanted to mention is kind of slipping off the top of my head right now. But we'll come back into it. There's a lot of action.
There's a lot going on. Keep an eye here on Jamie Dyke. He's really all over the back now of Aaron Gilbert. So close down that second gap. Traffic gets taken through. It's very, very sideways, and he's going to drop all the way back. So that little error through the same turn. And Gariosh says, yeah, mate, I showed you what had happened. That's allowed Gilbert, Dyke, and Coleman all to get past Traffic. He's going to have to find his rhythm again if he wants to hold off Angus and Danny P. Let's see what he's got here. Goes very wide. Oh, a big move from Angus up the inside, forces it. Says, no, thank you, that is my position. It's going to be a drag race down the round straight here. Traffic tucking in behind. Danny P looking to go around the outside. Does he have the pace here? Oh, tags the wall. Trappett is having all sorts of issues. And he's pushed back up the inside. Oh, no! Bang into the wall, too deep under
I was
brakes.
just about to say, Trappett, I don't think there's any way you're going to make that corner, my friend. Advice and insurance you may need at the moment. Rivers Advice and Insurance. So you may be giving them a telephone call, mate, because That was a little bit of a hard whack into the fence as he's blowing his engine.
Not only that, but that front end is completely stuffed. Look at those. He's not going to be able to turn. He's and a big contact there. Ollie Stevens, unfortunately,
this could be a caution. This could be a safety car. I don't know if that's going to be called in that one, but that's in an unsafe spot.
Devastated.
And on top of it, you need to be on the announcement. Teams need to be there saying, "Hello, there's caution in that corner. Do not come around flying around a million miles an hour. There's a good chance you might slap into Mr. Pat Trappett, unfortunately." So there it is. I don't think there's been a caution called, mate. And I did sort of mention, that's what I wanted to think about before when we were talking in the green row earlier about your predictions for safety cars this evening.
Yeah, so far being pretty tidy. Look, it's a tough one, right? Race control's got to make the call on whether safety cars are needed, but certainly Pat Trappett is going to be struggling his way. Now we're going to catch him in no time at this rate.
I think if he did that probably 10 seconds later with this pack coming around, they probably may have called it because they would all been approaching him at a rapid pace. But now he probably had just enough movement to clear the path.
I mean, he's got to get moving though. He's still a fair way from.
As long as he gets off the racing line, he should be okay.
There's not many places to go here though. Is there?
Yeah, but this is a part of the track where it's part of the track where you got a lot of long straights. So if he can get off that racing line, he's only got this.
He's so lucky that left front wheel is still intact. The steering linkage is still intact because there was no way he was making it around otherwise. He's
off the racing line and get it pull in the pit lane. So thankfully he is safely back in there and get that fast repair chipped out.
I was going to say, does he have a fast repair up his sleeve though?
I don't know actually. I'll keep an eye on that as a pit road for you and let him know if they do pull out that gaffer tape strips, not strips actually, patches that they have these days.
Well, I don't hope, because otherwise he's going to be a long time walk up in the background of the hairpin that's increased weight. It might actually be.
Yeah, he's getting the fast repair, and he should be out second. Yep, they got rid of that. They're putting new engine in
as well, though. To be fair.
Yeah, he will. Yep.
So he'll take.
He's not going up in the jack, so he's not taking tyres.
No, not taking. Not taking tyres. Maybe considering a quicker one later. So there you go, 16.5 seconds in the box. Just over. All in all, considering the amount of damage he copped, not a bad result.
Well, not bad considering on lap 30 to 48. There's a lot of racing to go, and certainly that can happen to anybody here on a street circuit when the balls come out and bite you. So you definitely got to put your nose down there and just see if you can get yourself in a nice top 10 finish for Pat. He's going to be a lap down, but he's not out.
Yet. Further up the track, though, Aaron Gilbert, he's just hanging in there, isn't he? Fishy's guys are all over the back end of that Mustang. Jamie Dyke's just
blown up yet.
I mean, Jamie Dyke chasing down a Mustang as well, man. So, it's a long way to go. Jamie Dyke continues to pressure, but
time
not
to
dive.
get there. Well, we are in the United States, right? So, we're not in the deep south of country.
This is true.
We're over here where we're going to be seeing some Beach Boys.
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to spare everyone at home the pain of that. I'm not going to be singing anything tonight.
If you give us a like, we'll promise not to sing for the rest of the evening. We do have 105 subscribers. We're got a century. Well done there, Jared. I know you've been putting a lot of work behind the scenes there, and this is
cool
certainly, it's simple to look at and easy to follow, but Jared does a lot of complicated work behind the scenes.
It's just clicking some buttons at the end of the day, obviously. Make our way around lap 14.
My friend, you know. Serving the plate of food is one thing, but you got to cook it up in the kitchen too first.
Probably not the comparison we need tonight. Still, Jamie Dyke.
I'll have to take a rain check on that dinner you promised me. Then.
Yeah, probably better for you, all in all.
Good battles forming, yep, as you mentioned, for the top three. There it is, top four.
Big ask, but it's just not quite enough pace from Jamie Dyke here to really force a move. He's just keeping the nose to the side so that Gilbert's pretty constantly reminded. Now Michael Angus coming down the back straight has a big look up the inside. Josh Benno doesn't make it happen there, but let's see what he's got on this hairpin.
I wouldn't count out. I would not count out Michael. I think Michael may be in very much here for a top 3 finish. It's we just know that there was just a little bit of energy and mistake there. We do see Reese Wakefield heading pit road now. So Reese is what right
15.
On the money. There it is.
There
It's written
go.
on my notes. Jared said lap 15. Reese Wakefield said done.
The lap 15, we're starting to see people thinking they can probably run the final 30 or so laps on fuel and a single set of tyres. I do wonder if there might be a little splash and dash at that distance, but I wouldn't think so.
I'm just seeing if Reese goes up
Ollie
into
Stevens going in
the
as
jacks. Ollie's coming in. I'll keep an eye on that for you. He'll be pit road before as well. Yep, on the jacks, so Reese did take tyres. I'll keep an eye if Ollie
Michael
does
Angus
take
goes
tyres.
through. Josh Benno switches it back again, though. This battle is going to be very, very tight. Angus on the inside sends it. Cuts everything he can out of that corner and, gets it done.
Now, this got a thing too, and Michael Angus wasn't used to doing overtakes in the Heat 1, wasn't he? He was leading the majority of the race.
Just sitting out in front, clean air, nothing to
now
it.
he's like, oh, that's how it feels to overtake? Well, I can do that again. That's not that hard.
And not many overtakes to do to get back out in front either.
Yeah. Ollie did take tyres as well too. Should be heading out of pit road now. So you're looking at about a 58-second stop this evening if you're going to take some tyres up with the jack and the splash and dash.
Which is not too bad.
Not a splash and dash, mate. A bit of gasoline.
It takes proper fuel.
Yeah.
And that's not bad at all. It certainly could be much longer, and I think it's probably worth the time. Pitch like sure, your tyres probably wouldn't be too bad over the full race distance, but over 150 k's, there's a lot of opportunity
I think
to
it
burn
would
those
only cost
rears
them
here,
like an
particularly.
extra 10 seconds. So this is like a mini endurance race, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, into the fence, Michael Angus actually a little bit. Not a side impact in there, so he is pushing. It
Robbins
will probably
racing.
put him in the clutches of Josh Bernard again. Benno.
Keeping our eyes up front right now as Aaron Gilbert actually starting to open the gap up a little over Joey Dog. Darko just decided to settle in. He hasn't found the way to make them pass just yet, but here they come. Really, the top 6 all still in it, although a bit more separation than we had just 5 laps ago.
Just see if they kick up some of those marbles up at the fence too. You'll see that down the iRacing model to flick some up. I've seen them flick up someone on the camera before, but they haven't stuck to the lens just yet. Don't tell iRacing that. I don't want my lenses to be covered in, our lenses, of course, to be covered in marbles.
They can stay on
sticky
track.
stuff.
That'd be fine, thank you.
They have for now, thankfully. Yes. I mean, the cameras don't even get rain on and stuff like that, so that's kind of a good thing.
It's realism.
Little windscreen wipers
I
on the
don't
cameras,
mind
mate. I've seen a couple of the drivers actually use their windscreen wipers this evening, so there is definitely some of these marbles flicking up on their windscreen, bugs, well, not probably necessarily bugs so much, but some of that debris kicking up in there. And as a racing driver on your screen, you get, you have windscreen wipers, sometimes you have tear-ups, in this case you have windscreen wipers, and it can affect you, especially if you have this big dot right where you'd be looking at your braking points.
Yeah, if it's in the wrong spot, it can be really frustrating. You can try to look around it, but it's not easy. I actually find it's easier to deal with those bits of debris getting on the windscreen if you are in VR, because it feels like you're actually able to look past it.
This is why drivers, Reese Wakefield just set the fast lap coming out of the pit road now, so he's got that free air. Yeah, but this is why the halo was initially a little bit of a problem for drivers getting used to it, because it would block your vision. And it is a bit of a problem, and then drivers turn it off, of course, on iRacing generally, because it's right in the middle, and of course your screen's static. But when you use VR, it's don't even notice that there's a hole in the middle of the screen.
No, it's like it's there, but because of the difference in vision, it just disappears in the same way that
But don't look up at the sun that blinds you in your VR. That's a big downfall with the VR. I'll keep an eye on Danny P in the pit lane for you.
Let's see how long he's actually in there while the top 4 start to try and open up the gap. Nicholas Garrio's just slowly being left behind, a 4-second gap opening up here. As McDonald, Gilbert, Dyke and Coleman sticking relatively trying to try everything at the moment. Get past Aaron Gilbert. You've got to think that Gilbert's starting to open up, and Dyke will be thinking about whether a pit stop is the right call.
Danny P took tyres as scheduled, and he should be out in about 58 as well as soon as he exits pit road right now. Back to you in the studio. Wait, I'm up here in the studio. All right.
Oh, back to me next to you.
Ted, thank you very much down there in the pit lane. Hey, did I hear that? What's his name's going to Fox Sports in the States? That's anyway. That's something.
You're gonna have to be a bit more. You're gonna have to be a bit more.
Yes, somebody's going to. Yeah. I'll get that back to you within a moment. We need some pit lane reporters down there.
So McDonald's lost a whole bunch of time that time around. He's lost almost a half second. So just getting the lines all wrong. Jamie Dyke now, though, on a rampage, going back to within 2/10. He's looking to the inside, a bit of a slow move across from Gilbert, just trying to discourage Dyke from making the pass in turn 1. And look, probably the smarter idea too is make our way around the aquarium roundabout once again. Street circuits, trying to find a way through here. It's really, really tough. We're seeing every bit of that. Jamie Dyke just has to settle in.
Yeah, I got the breaking news actually. Will Buxton is leaving F1 and is going to
No
Fox.
way.
Yes, he's doing IndyCar. Yeah, he was being the voice of Drive to Survive and all that sort of stuff. He's just like, no. But he used to be over there actually, but he's elected to go to Fox. And that's I think a few people are heading over to Fox because they realise that IndyCar and those cars are quite popular now in the States. So maybe it's a good move. Yeah, money. That's part of it. They've got a pretty big team in F1 now, but let's talk supercars.
We look up the inside as well. It wasn't close enough to make a move in Garioch, but certainly the pressure on Reese Wakefield for all the pace he's had has just crashed. Yeah, that's not gone well.
Yeah, Reese pushed a little bit too much, risking it for the biscuit coming out of pit road, mate. And I think he was trying to get that undercut.
He was a long way back in the field to start with. Big braking moment and just
gone straight on.
Locks it all the way up.
Use the escape road like Kimi Raikkonen did and try to find the
huge amount of runoff area there. Michael Angus has just had a crash. We looked away for just a moment.
Yeah, Angus has as well, but he's still on the track.
He's still going. He's lost a little bit of time, so it looks like he's just tagged the wheel ever so slightly.
You saw the tag. So he's tagged it again. I'm looking at some live pictures. So he's struggling a little bit now. He may have a little bit of damage as well. There's gremlins that are creeping in there, and so it's just forcing his car a little bit closer to this fence than he would like. But he's still sticking with it. He's still pointing in the right direction. Maybe he's just going to eke this one out there and try to see how drivable his car is.
Big moment from Aaron Gilbert. Gets very sideways. That's going to cost him. This is going to be enough for Jamie Dyke to make the move. Finally, Dyke's got the extra pace. Forces Gilbert to the outside. Jamie Dyke finally getting through after laps and laps of staring at the back end of that Jig Shifter's car. Sorry to cut you off the Biggles, but
no, mate, absolutely. You cut me off for the action every time because we don't want to miss it here on Simple Broadcasting Network.
Aaron Gilbert's so lucky. That was massive. Let's go back and just check Michael Angus' tag and we'll see just how much damage this has done. So it's in the hairpin. He's just like right down. Oh, he's just nudged Garioch. Okay, so nothing much in the day. I think he won't be any real damage there to worry about. Jamie Dyke, what can he do now that he's been given a bit of a run at this? He's been stuck behind Gilbert for, I think, about 12 laps. I might count. I haven't been too close to the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I can't count past 5. I've only got fingers at one hand. I'm sorry, Biggles.
Hey, well, you got one clicking all the magical buttons here doing the broadcast. It's this exciting race here for the feature race of our V8 Supercars. And we are in Goslet. We will have to stay tuned, of course, and make sure you click those buttons and you can see the upcoming broadcast for the Silver Split. That
later this week, absolutely.
Yeah, Jared, I won't be joining you for that one, but you've certainly got the man that knows everything about driving in the booth, you, my friend, and so he actually knows how to drive. I don't.
Rope Josh Harris back into it, and again, Aaron Gilbert getting very loose. That's going to be enough. And pass down at turn 1 here, I reckon. Let's keep an eye on this battle.
Yeah, do you reckon DC can pull a DC move off? No, he won't. He'll have to wait another lap to go to the DC corner.
Straight here.
Michael Angus is in a pit road. I'll keep an eye on that one too. Reese Wakefield had to go back in for those repairs. Robert Bradbury is heading in there, but I imagine I'm just going to keep an eye on and see if Michael Angus actually does get any of those little chipped out repairs done, or if he's happy with that car.
He'd have to, surely he's going to have to get some repairs done. Does he have the fast regret received still?
He may, because he hasn't gone in the pit road. I don't think he went in the, no, because remember he went in the pit road by his own accord in the first heat.
He did, yes.
And he hasn't been in pit road for this one.
And it was for fuel only, so...
Yeah. Looks like he's just taking tyres and gasolina, some Sonco gasoline. If you are here in the States, that's probably what they put in. It's like a race fuel. It's like an avgas, isn't it? Almost.
Up front, Jamie Dyke is now really starting to go after Damon McDonald and Aaron Gilbert. I think he's coming to perhaps the end of his tyres here. He's starting to really, really struggle to get tracking. A big lock up there. That's going to be enough. Here goes Coleman.
Whoa!
Coleman corner move.
Did you see that? That was, that's the Coleman corner.
Not enough,
and
though. Couldn't get the drive.
Almost, but you see, only Coleman can do it so far. That's the thing. Yeah, you've got to learn from the master.
That was David Coleman's opportunity.
Well, it was
there,
actually DC on that one. Yeah, sorry, he tried it again. My apologies, though. He's probably just trying to teach his other young guns how to get it done. Then again, he could just finish it first time. DC was surprised in himself, wasn't he, on that one?
We'll give him the credit until he says otherwise, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's good to see drivers do making moves that you don't conventionally ever see.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. He's on ice skates at the moment, mate. He's putting, as soon as he applies the loud pedal, the rear end just goes, no!
He's throwing everything at it. Really wants to drive out of these corners, and he's doing a great job of keeping it under control, considering how much that car wants to break out. While this is going on, though, if you look just a little further up the road,
Dyke's on the back of Damon.
Yeah. So again, I think Dyke's got to just got to hang in there here and wait for a mistake from McDonald. They're still both.
Oh, if he's that close at the moment, he doesn't want too much of a mistake, mate, because they both will be into the kitty litter. No kitty litter, sorry. They'll both be at Bubba Shrimp and Co. Having some tucker.
Takes the wider entry. Not enough to give him too much out of that corner, unfortunately. But down they go again. Now, Henry King, keep an eye on that back in P7. The Tiny Tower. He's just being attacked onto the back of Jackson Austin for a little while. And starting to look at closing it down. Here comes David Coleman, though. Look at this big move up the inside. Can he get it done? Gilbert's very, very strong under brakes. Doesn't give him the opportunity, and Coleman has to settle back in again. Here comes Henry King down to turn one as well, so he's doing much the same. So they're taking, that's Ollie Stevens, I believe. He's gone into the wall now, unfortunately.
Now, this is, Jared, this 6-1 to half dozen to the other. It's like, do you come in there and try the undercut there? And we're going to see that nice little battle between Coleman as well, and we still see the battle at the front. The 6-1 to half dozen to another, if you just go in right now and try the undercut. But sometimes you also think, I'm going to miss this nice on-screen battling, this track battle. It's also a lot of fun for the drivers. That's what they sign up to racing leagues to do, right? You don't just want to be doing lap times by yourself. You want to be side by side. And here we go.
Like this. Damon McDonald somehow found himself on the inside there with Jamie Dyke coming past.
Around the outside in the marbles. Is there any traction out there? There's the Jamie Dyke.
For Jamie.
No.
You're going to have to get it back under control. Let's go back and just pick where they first started to pass, because that was absolutely insane for them to end up alongside each other. So here it is.
Got the exit seat, Twitcher there, loud pedal down there, went side by side, of course, and now it's like, where do you go, where do you defend? You can see the damaged car as well, too. A little bit there of Coleman. Damien, actually. So somehow Damien with that damaged beast, and well, it's probably cosmetic more than anything as he makes his way around the fountain. You see the sunset start slipping a little bit here in Long Beach, California, as we're halfway through this race. So we will go into the evening. That means the track temperature should drop a little bit there too, Jared.
Yeah, look, you'd hope so. They weren't super hot to begin with, but quick update on that, down to 21 degrees track temp. We started at about 36. So definitely cooling off as the evening sets in.
Yeah, in Californian desert. No, you're on the coastline. Thank you on that one. Nicholas is into pit road, and I think that should be about a schedule to they drop that car off at Jack's. About a 59, mate. Yeah, he should pull that one. Come back out. Give or take about 59. That's been the average, mate. 59 to a minute pit stop around here. That's total.
That's pushing far closer to a full lap, though, than I'd probably be comfortable with as a driver.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get out
20
just ahead on the lead lap so you don't have to get showed any blue flags. Of course, you don't want to be lapped by the leader. Here we go. Speaking of which, Damon is in. So he's trying this undercut. Jamie Dyke stays out. David Coleman stays out. Aaron Gilbert, Jackson Action.
On Danny
Action
P
Jackson.
in 7th. So Danny P is the lead car at the moment.
Yeah, early pit stop from DP. We'll see if that will work out. He went back on lap 17. I'm keeping an eye on Damon McDonald. He's going to go up on the front. Jack's the rear. Actually, let's jack the whole damn car up here. They don't bother with one side or the other. They have the tools. They have the technology.
Air jacks. That's all we need.
Yeah, I know. I got it right here, mate. You know.
I think Coleman now going at it. This is going to get messy if they're not careful. So here comes Danny P.
Speed racer.
Let's trap it. Keep an eye out. There's Danny P. Keep an eye on Damon McDonald up ahead.
Damon's just exiting the pit road right now, so he's not even up to full speed.
It's a long
There's
pit road
Daniel.
too.
This is going to be close. Actually, no, it won't even be at all. Daniel.
It's an incredibly long pit straight. Now that answers for us though, where Danny P's likely to sit when Dyke and Coleman go in.
That's very true, actually.
Damon McDonald's out in front.
Let me crunch some math, because there's no
these guys
math.
heading for their pit stop now. Lap 26 of 48, they're only asking for another 22 laps from a fresh set of tyres here. If you do go in, there goes Jamie Dyke, so he's into the pits. David Coleman continues, as does Aaron Gilbert. They're looking to extend their lead a little further before they do make the jump.
This is going to be close if Dyke can get out just ahead of Danny P. He's going to have to... They will get shorter pit stops now as you get deeper into the race, no doubt, because you don't put as much gasoline in. It's going to be also, push come to shove later on too. If you think you're not going to get out ahead, you may elect not even bother with those tyres, but you do need a little bit of traction. We'll keep an eye out. Does Dyke go up on the jacks? Don't see him currently at the moment. I'm keeping my eyes peeled on him down a pit road.
That's interesting. Maybe he's decided to
shifted his gear for a second. He's in there 39, 40 seconds. No, I didn't see him go up on the jacks. He's out. Okay, and he wants to make sure he can clear Danny.
300, 250 metres difference. Let's see where they come out. Here comes Danny P. Jamie Dyke is on the way out of the pits.
Danny's got him.
There's Jamie Dyke just on his way out. So Danny P finds himself out in front. Now, he did take tyres.
He did actually. It's a 59, so
he's going to have nice, fresh...
I think Henry's in trouble. I think Action Jackson, or that's Jackson Austin. I think that he's in trouble. I think Aaron may be in trouble. I think Coleman may be the only one safe, but he has to get the pit stops under his belt if he wants to win this race.
Look, safe as a big ball. There's only going to be about 10 seconds in it. Right?
Yeah, I'm just saying safe as in getting out ahead. I think David may be able to clear. David may be able to clear Danny P. if he gets that perfect stop, if he puts some good laps in and consistent laps in. That's just on track position.
Right now, though,
he will still have to defend for another 20 laps. Danny P will be chasing him down. So that'll be really interesting out there. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Give us a shout out. Say hello. I don't bite much. Jared doesn't bite much, apparently. Yeah, but he won't bite you in the audience. You're safe.
Safe from the other side of the screen. Look, David Coleman, running 121, 122s. You take a look at that, what is it now? About a 45-second gap back to Danny P. So if he goes in, takes a minute in the pits from go low, then that's going to be...
It's always, it seems like it's rocket science. It's easy, right? But it's not. It seems like you go look at it and go, you look at it and go, yeah, surely he'll be out easily. But sometimes it's not like that. I don't know why, but you have a look at that. That'll be close between David and Danny for sure.
Yeah, it'll be very close. Or if the numbers add up the way they should,
we're going to find out right now.
Absolutely,
because David's in.
So we see Jackson Austin and Henry King coming around onto the straight once again. King again just settling in.
I'm going to rush down there and
jumps on in.
And just quickly wipe down David's windscreen there for him, make sure it's all clean, and he's going to get out there and can provide some more entertainment than he's doing right now. Henry King's coming behind him. I'll keep an eye on the pit lane for him.
Here comes Danny P. So let's keep an eye on Danny P coming around. Is it going to be quick enough?
David's still in there, 32 seconds currently at the moment. Didn't see the car on the jacks, but sometimes a little hard. And he needs to get on the loud pedal soon.
He's still in the pits.
He's still 40 seconds stationary. He's not moved yet. He's stalled it. I think he moved forward a little bit. He's made a little mistake. David Coleman's made a mistake right now. He pushed it forward, and there it goes. I think very soon he's got a very poor exit. There's Daniel, and Daniel has done it. Easy peasy.
Coleman suffers for a...
he's going to lose out to Angus
mistake,
now.
but it's
He's probably even going to lose out to... Where's Nicholas? No, he should just get ahead.
P6. P7, there you go. And then
he jumped forward. I don't know if he stalled it and couldn't get it into gear, and then he just shifted forward. That's like a second and change. I don't think it'll still be enough anyway. I think Danny would have still done it. Aaron's going to come in right now, Aaron Gilbert. But remember, that was our race leader, David Coleman, that went in. So nobody else, as far as I know, can get in and out of that pit lane and clear Danny P, who elected to go down on lap 17 and now is the net leader of this race.
It's looking a little worse for wear, isn't it? A bit covered in debris, perhaps?
It'll buff out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Look, Danny P, on the one hand, may have played a bit of a strategy master move here by his early pit stop back on lap 17. That's giving him the clear air to make up the time and really get out in front.
He watches his shields. Yeah.
It also means that Jamie Dyke just a couple of seconds behind has tyres that are 10 laps fresher.
True. You're going to see to your pictures. There's Gilbert coming out of the pit lane now. That's how far back how slow that pit lane is punishing. Yeah. So, well, Dennis is going to get on with it right now. Go, go, go. And don't look backwards, because he's going to be the driver with the oldest boots out of all those drivers you just mentioned there, Jared. So that's going to be key for him. That's Gilbert.
That's Aaron Gilbert going around.
He just came out of pit road.
Cold tyres.
Cold tyres, warm heart.
Yeah, something like that. That's painful for the poor bloke. Go back and see.
That's a key, isn't it? Once again, practice, gentlemen. Practice your pit stops. Practice coming out on some fresh tyres that are cold, and don't hit that loud pedal too loud, because AKA that's what happens.
Here we go. The shot from our chopper. Can't really get a good flying shot. Yeah, look very, very deep. And the exit from
that's
the pit
cold
lane
brakes too, probably, mate, isn't it? Coming out of pit road, and you haven't slapped them since you went in.
It shouldn't make too much of a difference. But
why didn't it stop?
Look, it's not that it didn't stop. The problem with the Long Beach pit that you have to be more conscious of is that when you exit that pit lane very late, it looks like you're actually back out on track. You're not allowed to cross that line until you're basically at turn 1. And so you find yourself having to take a really, really different line to what you may be expecting if you're not switched on and thinking about it.
Here comes Coleman and Angus. Yep. I got a sneaking suspicion these two we're going to be on track.
Take a line on the left. Blue line goes all the way
all
down.
right.
Yellow
I see
line,
that.
and then there's your cone just there at the apex.
That's true. You're almost turning into the corner as thinking that there's still more of a straight.
Well, you can't turn until you're actually looking down the next street. It's a bizarre pit exit, and it catches so many people out because you're barreling down. You've really got to start braking to make a much, much tighter turn.
Henry King's off as well. I saw Jackson Austin actually, but unfortunately Henry King has made a little bit of a boo-boo somewhere, my friend.
Through the roundabout, big touch there, and then it just pulls it up short of the wall. So it won't have any damage, but an awkward spot to try and get ringing.
Yeah, good spot, mate. The cameraman almost fell out of the helicopter looking down on that one.
You've got to be careful with that shot. Absolutely.
Jamie Dyke putting pressure right now on Danny, and this is the battle for P1. These drivers have done their mandatory pit stop. They have what they need to take it to lap 48. It's just a matter of who wants it more.
This is where those fresher tyres are coming in. Danny P putting in a 22.21 to Jamie Dyke's 21.63 on that last lap. So, defensive time for Danny P. You haven't had to see him play much of that so far this season. But Long Beach is a fantastic place if you are defending a position. Really block these lines up. You've just got to be very careful as the track opens up into the back half that you haven't left yourself too short. So these corners, you'll see him now start to stick to the inside of these corners, not letting Jamie Dyke get through quickly easily. The amount of debris on some of them, you've got no choice but to stick to the well-worn-in racing line. The sun's starting to set here at Long Beach. Still 16 laps to go, and Danny P will be praying for the end of this race to come back sooner than perhaps
or a safety car as well too. If Danny P pulls us off, he's going to get the Oscar Paskey award for the best defending for a good chunk of laps too. So let's see if the man can't get it done. But James Dyke seems clearly quicker here. He's just going to throw his car everywhere. He's going to fill Daniel's mirrors with the Fishy Motorsport number 80 machine and remind him to know that Jamie Dyke is a previous race winner. Jamie Dyke wants to take this one away, and he has the fresher bits.
Whether that's going to be enough, though, the challenging thing, and you saw it out of the hairpin there, Jamie Dyke had a great line through the hairpin. He's hit that one time and time again. He really does love that line, but pretty consistently, what's happening is that he's getting caught on just a few marbles under the right-hand wingers. That's really limiting the amount of throttle that he can pull in without lining it up. And of course, he only manages to light up on one side. He's going to slip the car around.
You should ride on board, my friend. See if you can ride on board right now, Jamie Dyke, and just have a look at how much he's fighting his 80 Ford machine. He's just absolutely throwing this thing around everywhere. You can see so many little short shifts there of the steering wheel, little changes there, because you beat the bump there, you've got to counter correct it. You can see there gingerly on the throttle as well too, in the slipstream, changing up the gears, of course, up in the 5th gear right now. He's looking to shift at 6. He's going to put his nose out there, but he realizes he's not going to take it right now. This is fantastic racing, and it's at its finest here at the MC Motorsport.
Where you're looking at the beach of the walls, it's terrifying. The street circuits always are.
Look at the different lines that they go into. They both get loose coming out of it. It's kind of a mirror, isn't it? Look at the sun just gleaming into your eyes right now of Jamie. He's bad enough trying to keep an eye on the Antic Motorsports, their 70 machine, barely, and then try to come down the main straightaway. And you got to be contemplating this. You got to be thinking about 5 moves. It's like chess, isn't it? When are you going to place that car into the corner before you even arrive?
Even with the best laid plans through here, ultimately Long Beach really doesn't provide a whole lot of opportunities to make a move. So Jamie Dyke's got to be thinking right now about how he sets up for the last 2 corners of this circuit. That's realistically how far he needs to be planning.
Yes, sir. That's what good racing drivers do, don't they? They kind of just full play the whole scenario in their head and think strategy, and go, I'm not thinking about this lap right now. I'm thinking about what's going to happen in a couple more laps. But here we go. Another nose, another little dummy sent by Jamie Dyke. He said he's trying to throw Daniel off here. And a sign of a good racing driver, both of them, is Daniel just handling this pressure.
He's got the move.
Last late breakers. Talking about Daniels, that's a Daniel Ricciardo light braking move there. Jamie Dyke into the lead there, trusting in tyres. Tyres have performed. Those Firestones getting the job done. I hope they're Firestones.
Dunlops.
In America, they're Firestones, mate.
Yeah, look, not so much on the Gen 3 Supercars. But have a look at Jamie Dyke pulling away now. The pressure coming off Danny P's shoulders a bit, and he's going to be thinking, look, I've got a 4-second lead. I don't need to chase him down too hard here. I don't need to put myself into a hole. Just hang in there. P2's a good result, but he could still end up with a P1 if he plays his cards right. 13 laps to go. Battle up.
Got to keep them close, mate. Yeah, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Something like that.
And maybe I think at the moment Daniel could rely on push. As you can look in another fantastic battle brewing in the background there with Henry King on the back there of Robbie Bradbury. We're going back to that situation. Danny's got to keep the pressure on Jamie as much as he can. He can't afford to lapse too much. The more pressure he puts on Jamie, the more pressure Jamie can make a mistake, get a slowdown, bingo, you can have that position, or even worse for Jamie, he's in the fence, got some damage. So you got to apply that. Of course, there's the luck of the dog and get that safety car that might come out there and re-rack and re-stack them. A lot of things to play here, a lot of racing to go here at lap 35.48.
Here comes David Coleman. Had a big look up the inside. Mike Mungus tucks in to get just a little bit more pace. He's not going to get there. Mungus super late on the brakes. Look at him starting to glow. So he starts to lose the daylight here on the beach. Really heavy on the brakes off the back straight there.
Sending memo to pit crew. Please put your welding gloves on when you change those tyres. Thank you.
Coleman's doing everything he can to try and find his line from race 1. And so far, it just doesn't seem to be there here this time around. I wonder if it's just the change in track temp that's made it a little more difficult to get rolling there compared to sort of just a few laps ago, it feels like, but realistically, 36 laps in race number 2. And, the track conditions changing monumentally as
getting a little cooler. Yeah, so they're finding a little bit more time. I think they are actually, because now you're talking about drivers that, well, no, actually they're just dropping a little bit of time. They're in the 22 clubs because deep into this race. I did tell you that I've foreseen this little this moving picture of Michael Angus and David Coleman going at it tooth and nail, and that's exactly what I got. So I've got my popcorn ready, my friend. I got my ticket in hand, and I'm ready to enjoy the show.
It's still a long way back though. The pit stop really paid off for Danny P. Jamie Dyke has made his later stop work for him, but just about everybody else hasn't come out anywhere near as fortunate as Danny P seems to.
I think that Danny P was listening to that conversation they had with David Coleman. So David said maybe, thinking about an early pit stop, but he didn't. He boxed on lap 28. That's one of the last pit stoppers. Some of the other drivers behind him boxed on lap 29, and boxes pit stops to those in the Americas. So, yeah, he's done kind of maybe just trying to flip everybody in the audience thinking he was going to do one thing.
Big moment in the background, Josh Benno goes sideways, just keeps it out of the wall.
That's not so racing close. On point, my friend. With that, my friend.
Again, David Coleman just cannot find a way past at the moment. He's not
I don't think they need to. Like, once again, I think it's just apply that pressure. Force the driver up the road into a mistake, and it's an easy OT. Pending that you're not going to be ploughing into a T-bone sideways.
And that's the problem when you come to something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, true. You have to kind of like hope that they go off somewhere where you've got sharp reaction time, which is drivers do to swing it to the left or swing it to the right.
You just quoted Jackson Austin.
Well, you can't go up or down, right, mate? We already neglected on that one earlier that there is no jump button that you can press and just tuck the car ahead.
Aaron Gilbert just goes into the wall back there. And his teammate Henry King not far behind. He's keeping the pressure on Robbie Bradbury as well.
It should be Lord Henry King. That's such a noble name there, Henry King. I love it, my friend. You should. Yeah,
I think you're a little biased.
I would use that name when I'm using it in role play. Like, I'm Henry King.
I think we should justify. I think we should probably put some context around that role play, like Dungeons and Dragons. Otherwise,
no, Red Dead Redemption role play, the old West, mate. Henry King would be rocking it there.
Still a lot cleaner than what I was expecting heading down the lineup, mate. As we see Coleman again looking for a
PG audience. Of course, here we go. MC Motorsport.
Angus continues just consistently. 122 flat last time around, 122.7 on that lap.
And you got to grant it to him too, mate. Like, it's hard to hold pressure like that. That's what I'm saying. It's the Oscar award if you do it. Because Oscar, fantastically last season held off a fast Ferrari for give or take 30 laps, and that's not praised so much in motor racing. The defensive driving, and we've been over that a couple of times, of course, here in the MC Motorsports and Simple Broadcasting Network. That's where you should also get awards for best defensive driving, not just overtaking awards, not just winning races, but how well you defended your position for so many laps under massive pressure.
Speaking of pressure, I'm just looking at the list of drivers that find themselves out of the race here. The damage sustained. We've lost McLaughlin, Power, Cooper, Sinclair, and Orlando Black not starting. But I tell you what, if this is what street circuit's going to bring us in the future,
let's go to Monaco
here,
yeah.
Right? Like it's only 20 drivers this time around. I'm sort of thinking ahead to Chicago street course later on in the season.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not as tough as this. I wouldn't say. Bathurst, yeah. Well, no, I think this guy's able to tackle Bathurst a lot better because, being an Australian, it's kind of one of those racetracks that you learn first, isn't it? It's born in your blood.
It is a little.
As an Aussie. Now, if you're talking about drivers from other nationalities, and yeah, they'd probably struggle with the mountain, but as an Australian, mate, it's like Vegemite. No. And in fact, I heard from a quote from a driver, which was probably one of the best quotes that I heard in a recent broadcast, was he said, mate, in order to beat Bathurst, first you conquer the mountain, and then you worry about the other cars. Well, then you work on the other cars, somewhere on that line, which is absolutely right. You just got to beat the mountain first, and then you try to beat the other cars around you. That's how you beat Bathurst.
Right. Bathurst is a whole other animal, and really, as racetracks go, I don't think you can get away with building a racetrack. It's
you can't, mate. Helmut Marko,
frankly.
whatever his name is, that does track design, couldn't even come close. No, Helmut Marko is the Red Bull guy. The designer of the Formula 1 tracks of late. He wouldn't. He couldn't even. What are you going to do? Get 5,000 tons of soil and put some elevation changes of a mountain?
Honestly, I don't think you'd
never
be
going to
allowed
happen.
to build a track like that these days, simply because.
Then
it is
again,
a
trust me, hey
dangerous
mate, we
layout.
shouldn't talk too quickly. Somebody in the Middle East will probably just throw a couple of billion into there and make a racetrack like that. So who knows?
Why not? Artificial Mount Panorama up over Central.
Well, they got the coin, mate. They'll probably try to make it one day in the future, but for now they're happy with.
Here.
But the only problem with that too, mate, you can't slam a whole bunch of grandstands into it as well, too, because the elevation changes make it more difficult. But that's talking about theoretical racetracks in the future. The mountain will never be duplicated by anyone in the world, regardless of how much coin you have. Ken Damon made a little mistake there. Keep on to Michael Angus, and also looking at a fantastic battle brewing behind you, Rory Bradbury and Henry King. They're the two closest battles you're seeing on the track here.
Everyone's
With
just
8
trying to
laps to
survive
go,
right now, aren't they?
Jared.
It's very much survival mode at this point. You put in a good race so far. You don't want to throw away those first 40 laps.
But then you spoke too soon, because it looks like, I think if Nicholas has made a mistake, well, he hasn't made a mistake, but somebody's going to try and move around here. Is that Josh as well? Josh has made a mistake. Well, no, Nicholas did, my friend. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was Nicholas Garioch into the wall there, and Bradbury making the pass. We'll see if we can see what happened to him there.
Right on cue when you said your worst enemy is just bringing it home. All right.
And, putting the power down and
it's already
under
loose,
brakes.
isn't it? It's already loose. It just feels like the tyres are already cooked before he even slapped the fence.
Yeah, big moment.
He's doing burnouts like people do in my street at 3 o'clock in the morning here in Logan. So, yeah, mate, I have to talk to them about taking the racetrack on the streets where people are trying to sleep. But
he's got reasonably fresh tyres, like 24 he went in, so it shouldn't be. His tyres coming up. I think he just got a little hard on the brakes there, got it sideways and cover, unfortunately.
Got to bring it home, but didn't lose that many places. He's just behind Henry, who's behind Robbie. That's a top 10. That's a top 10.
Still a top 10. That's a lot of points.
Yep, in a season where points are going to come down to the final situation, you're going to come back and look at these races and go, I'm glad that I still kept with that P10.
Yep.
Now, what can DC do, mate? He's already got himself established on that corner he just exited from. That is the Coleman corner. So he's already got an award from this race so far. Does he want that P4 award and claim a little bit more points? He's already got the race one victory, the heat victory.
No,
he needs to get this one.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go. Just instantly, the race control has announced that headlights are on.
Headlights are on, so we're going to be finishing slightly darker conditions than these guys perhaps anticipated.
Because we have no track illumination, so I hope so, mate. Otherwise, we're going to see nothing soon. Nothing. I see nothing.
Oh, this makes for exciting racing, honestly.
I'm telling you, mate, get the Vanta black paint on. I will not paint. Get the Vanta black on the cars there and just tell you so there you go.
6 laps to go, so probably another 9 minutes or so of racing. I think we'll be fine in these conditions, honestly. But beautiful sunsets you catch between the buildings here. It's on a whole
the artificially placed buildings there from iRacing. Thank you very much for the attention to detail of that. So this is where they're spreading all their programming extra stuff that you could be doing a whole bunch of stuff that we could probably give you from a broadcasting aspect to do that iRacing, but anyway, that's fine. Do what you need to do. I have no beef with iRacing, of course.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all, honestly. As we see Coleman.
Yeah, when you do 3 or 4 of these a day, okay, yeah, perhaps you should listen to the people that do 3 or 4 of these a day.
Here we go. This is Henry King and Bradbury side by side. King's got to be careful he doesn't end up in this outer wall. Just like that, tags it, gets caught in the marbles. Can't pull it up, and the damage to that front left going to cost him. Here comes Garioch.
That is totally on you there, Jared. Why do you keep doing that?
No, he was always going to struggle there. He was breaking very, very late, and the marbles are built up on the outside of that corner. Always a risk.
But that's what we thought until Coleman proved that that's not true.
Well, Coleman wasn't Coleman wasn't passing there. His was through the,
Pat
through
Trafford's
the
in,
hairpin.
and Ollie Stevens and Reece Wakefield are all heading down pit road for a last-minute dash for the cash. Ollie's been there for some time. Pat Trafford's gone down there. I'm surprised that Pat Trafford, that number 34 machine, has been nursing that car for so long. I mean, good on him, and I hope you still finish that one, Pat. Do not retire that car in the pit road, because I'm coming down to get your autograph.
Keep it going, because P12 is some solid points.
Still, he can still want you to finish across the line. You want to see Barney, mate. That's what it's all about.
Big mistake there from Angus. That allows Coleman to try and run around the outside as he got the inside line into the hairpin.
Oh, he runs
There you go. Angus
super
has
deep.
nowhere else to go. Just pushes it out very, very wide, and that's going to allow Coleman the run he's been looking for laps and laps now.
Yep, that pressure mounted, and Michael Angus now says, okay, anything you can do, I can do as well. So he's got to catch up the back of the bumper there of David Coleman's car there and try the same thing with that bit of pressure there. 4 laps to go now. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs, and everybody watching. They got fresh Bubba burgers waiting for them down there at the Bubba Coach Room.
Speaking of pressure, Danny P, as Damon McDonald is slowly
here we go. Save the best for last, mate.
Fresher tyres.
Am I not mistaken here?
Oh, look, we'll see. It's still a half-second gap. We've got 5 laps to run.
The Daniel and Damon show, that's right. That's not a law firm. It is action on your pitches here. 44 48.
All still happening. There's Jamie Dyke now. Jamie Dyke still hasn't managed to pull more than those 2 seconds out in front. He's lapping.
This could be a 3-way battle. You're right on that one. I'm surprised. You got to remember there, everybody's just tuned in, that Danny P did go down the pit road on lap 17. So his tyres are a little bit more worn. You're looking at the race leader. He went down there at lap 26, and then Damon went down there on lap 25.
There's quite a bit of difference in these cars, but look at Danny P just streaking away. You've got to think that he's pretty light on fuel at this point, and they all should be by this stage if they've done their fuel structures.
Don't tell that. He might be sitting there going, I'm looking at, I'm trying to tap the meter on my gas meter, just going, come on, you're not in the red yet.
He's definitely not fuel saving. These guys still running in the high 22s. Coleman and Angus equaling each other's lap on the last one, both running the dead on 22.
Now, is Jamie Duke just playing with his food a little bit, trying to bring him into play?
No.
For the Fishy Motorsports. He's no advantage, really, because McDonald's not a Fishy Motorsport racing team. David Coleman's down the road there. So, unless he's going to try to back everybody up so David could perhaps get a podium, are they really thinking that much?
No. These guys chat while they're racing, but I can tell you categorically.
I would be. I'd be like, hey, let's back them all up, mate. Let's see if we can get Fishy 1 and 3.
That's a huge risk to take.
Like the first race, mate.
A 2-second lead, mate. I don't like you as a strategy guru.
Hey, mate, I'm thinking for the team. I'm
Well,
all about the
big dive
team.
there.
Oh!
And makes contact.
And I'm
now,
not
this
about
is going
that.
to change things. What's going to happen here, Danny?
Oh, don't move,
more
don't move,
contact.
don't move, Danny.
Coleman and Danny P together. Race
I
control.
thought Danny was
going
clear.
To have to look at that. Oh,
All right,
that's changed things drastically. Jamie Dyke now has an 8-second gap and climbing. He's comfortable. That's
one for. Yeah, that's. If you're tuning in, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. I see at least 7 likes out there. Thank you very much for that. And this action is not over yet. We are in the dying stage of this race, but that was a game changer, Jared.
So this is McDonald. He's taking a big risk here. Makes the dive, looking for a way past Danny P. Makes contact. That of course blocks up the
He stops. I think he realizes my bad.
Well,
and
at that point, he was just going to wait for it. But look at this.
Nowhere to go
guys
from anybody
both
else. They're
get
both
caught
backing up simultaneously. It's not like you're watching the Olympics simultaneous dancing.
No synchronized swimming here or anything like that.
Synchronized swimming, yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, it's a Fishy Motorsports, right? They do swim.
Well, maybe.
You went there.
But Danny P, he's gotten away with it. Not too much damage. He's still maintaining a decent bit of pace. Coleman's found himself up in P3. And then Angus back in P4 will have David McDonald on his tail all the way to the end. Just a couple laps to go. But the real winner out of all of that...
Well, you know what's happened, mate.
Yeah,
Fishy are 1 and 3 now.
So
I told you.
that is what we're saying.
I told you.
That was you.
I didn't think it was going to happen that way. I thought it was going to be a strategy of backing people up, not somebody dooring somebody into the, now is the Coleman corner.
So Jamie Dyke now 8.5 seconds out in front. 2 laps to go. It's time for him to just cruise at home. You see a few little sparks as he bottoms the car out. But all in all, it should be reasonably comfortable for him from here.
That's like Jared taking the kids to school when he's going 300 miles an hour. It's like the kid bottoming the car out. What's going on? Oh, that's right.
I mean, got a bit of fun with it.
Because Jared wouldn't be driving his kids at 300. He'd be sick of the speed limit because he'd be responsible. Everybody is. We're just joking around.
How close those guys are going to that right-hand wall there. It's
you mean how close the right-hand wall's creeping into the drivers?
How close the right-hand wall is jumping into the drivers.
You wouldn't be a press agent for a Formula 1 driver.
No. That's true. We'll take a look as we get around to the last lap. We'll try and jump onto one of our external cameras with Jamie Dyke and take a look at just how close he's going with some of these balls.
You need a dancing partner, mate, when you go into the barn dance.
Here we go. Down the home straight. Let's stay on board with Jamie Dyke for what should be the winning lap for him.
Love that photo too. Look at that. Solid there. Look at me. And you've got the guns, Miss Jamie Dyke, and you certainly have the race pace, number 80. Let's follow him on board, she said.
Jump on the view of the right front suspension and just take a look at how close he does run to some of these walls.
On the last lap of the race, you don't think he's going to lift a little bit?
I don't think he will. Take a look at this one on the right-hand side. Look at this. Okay, to be fair, he's pretty close.
Wow. That's my GoPro camera too. All right.
Yep. He's pretty close to it. So,
swinging to your left, mate. Yep, there we go. He's going to swing it to the right. Of course, there's a couple of 90s.
Now take a look at this. The battle is on. Coleman is making the move. Jamie Dyke up the road is going to seal this one with a comfortable lead.
Coleman wants that Fishy Motorsports P2, mate. And I'll tell you what, TP's he's got to feel like he's all alone here, mate. He's got no teammates to back him up. He's trying his absolute best. His tyres are absolutely done and dusted, mate. They got to go down to the Bubba Shrimp and Co. company and say they're barbecued. But can he hold on?
Going to have a good run here. Here he goes. He's gotten the move done. Side by side, both of them putting the foot down. Oh,
he's got a left. Oh, that was close. Damon will get it. David will get it. That'll be controversial out of that final corner. But then again, it is the Coleman corner.
What happened there? Let's see if we can get a bit of a view of that one from above.
We won't take it away, of course. Jamie Dyke get a race win, no doubt. But look at that exit.
Absolutely.
That's Coleman doing the Coleman corner. But why did Danny lift?
How bizarre.
They should have been side by side to the line. I don't understand. That's the Coleman corner. Danny knows very much about that because he got beaten exactly in Heat 1 by David in the very same corner on the same last lap.
I have no idea.
It's not a deja vu. You're not watching Heat 1 all over again. This has literally just happened the feature race.
How bizarre. Hopefully
I know, it sounds like that song. How bizarre, how bizarre.
It does a little, doesn't it? Hopefully we get a chance to have a chat, but check this out. The Fishies entries all coming together as they make their way back around the track.
And right in front of the fountain too. It's so convenient. And of course the, not the aquarium, but the painted, as you said, but we got those race results there, Jared.
Jamie Dyke taking the win for Fishy, and David Coleman and Danny P in third. Michael Angus in fourth for Fishy as well. Dan McDonald taking fifth ahead of Aaron Gilbert, Jackson Austin, Henry King, Nicholas Garriosh and Robbie Bradbury wrapping up P10. Josh Benno in 11th and Pat Trappett, hats off to him, first time in the gold split. Sticks it out for a P12 and unfortunately just, really...
Actually... I got some news that Daniel's been pushed across the line. He's out of gas.
No way. There you go. So
he's out of gas. He's being pushed into pit road, my friend, right now. So
he really was that low.
Yes.
Wow.
Either that, or he's just lifting off for a reason to get a little push. But I do believe it's. I have to jump on board and actually find out. But
Let's go and have a
wow.
look. There it is, Danny P in the background getting the push to the line. So
yeah, he's got no throttle, mate. He's absolutely out of gasoline.
there you go.
The Sunco, fuel depot is running on empty for Daniel's number 70 machine, but he still managed to finish in that P3 position. In a little bit of controversy, of course, and we'll certainly find out, won't we there, Jared, as we will get some of those drivers to have a bit of a chin wagon and find out about what happened in this fantastic race around Long Beach for the feature. Not to mention the heat race was exciting, but now we've got to talk about the feature.
Yeah, we do indeed, and we'll see if we can get Danny P into the booth with us. Daniel Poulton, P3,
Hello.
mate. You're still behind the wheel getting pushed to the pits right now, or?
Yeah, I've got Robbie behind me giving me a bit of a push.
Are you out of gasoline, mate?
Yeah, I had.
Is it that expensive in Cali? It should be a lot cheaper than what it is in Australia. What's going on?
I don't know. I filled up a BP instead of Costco. No, I underfilled by 3 laps. So.
Oh.
Still
Yeah,
made us to the end, though.
And that was back on lap 17, mate, because you went in really early.
Yeah, I went in early, saw the fill number, and I was like, something isn't right here. So anyway, feel safe for the rest of the race, and here we are.
Well, look, we were wondering why on earth you got off it out of that last hairpin, and I take it now that was actually the car giving up on the fuel pump.
Yes, it was.
It was it? Right.
That's
okay.
Yeah,
right.
that's what happened. Put my foot down and she coughed, and I was
So you
like,
got
oh,
beaten
here I
by
am.
David. It's the Coleman corner now, that final hairpin, by the way, too, because he does his magic there. We thought that you would have you learnt from that mistakes on heat 1, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, mate, you need a little bit of gasoline to power those pistons, don't you?
Yeah, I did. I'll do some proper math next week, and should be fine.
All in all, though, can't be too disappointed. A P3 out of all that, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
And nice work getting onto the podium here in the gold split.
Yes, thank you.
Danny P, we'll leave you to it. Go and celebrate once you make it back to the pits, eh?
I will.
He is. He's
Thank
in
you.
there right now, I
I'm
think.
sitting here. I'm
There
getting
you
fuel
go.
right now, so I can drive around again if I want.
Enjoy that. Lovely to talk to you as
thank you.
always.
Oh,
Danny
good.
P,
Oh.
P3 for race number 2 here this evening. And of course, the man who took him on that last corner, David Coleman, back in the booth with us. Mate, we weren't sure about coming back, but here you are again, P2 in race 2.
Yeah, it was a bloody tough one.
Sounds fishy,
I
doesn't
think-
it?
with the reverse grid, it definitely kept the field even. So it was it was really good fun.
Yeah, look, and lucky for you, not so lucky for Mr. Poulton, running out of fuel around that final hairpin. Just enough for you to sneak in a P2. Anything that played out, I don't know, a little differently to what you'd have expected there in race number 2 this evening?
Teammates, so all had good pace, but you got to kind of you race a bit softer with your teammates and give a bit of space. So probably did lose a little bit of time the start of the race, but the strategy Dan was on as a race winner. He just needed to pit another 2 laps later, and like he probably would have hosed us because we were pitted quite late. So the strategy he did wasn't the one. He was on the winning strategy, but just obviously the 2 laps short. Probably, well, we knew straight away he wouldn't make it, but it probably cost him. But bit of a shame because he probably deserved that one, but he still raced well.
Look, strategy is half the battle after all, and in the end comes through for you. So a lovely little double podium for you this evening, mate. Some good points, and certainly something to look forward to for the next few rounds as you get back out on track with us. Well done.
Yeah, it's good
tonight.
fun. It's really good fun, and another shout out to the broadcast. He's crystal clear. So
Beautiful. That's what we
yeah,
like
looking
to
hear.
forward to watching it tonight.
Do you have a copy?
A copy? You got a copy, mate.
DC, mate, you know you got the corner named after you, right?
Which corner?
So the hairpin corner is now called the Coleman corner.
Oh, beautiful. I'll take that.
I don't know if you know that, mate. You have to get down
Yeah,
there and
I
put your
would've
hand in the
thought maybe
concrete.
Would have thought maybe the canteen in pit lane might have been my area, but I'll take the
Why not
hairpin.
both?
So
Why
you
not
know,
both?
that's it.
If you watch the feature race back, you know that you've been coined that one, mate, because you know that maneuver you pulled off in heat 1. I still can't. That'll well be replayed for a long time for all these young upcoming racers to study how to possibly get that job done, mate. So,
Yeah, well, I actually taught Jamie how to do that move mid-race. I said, mate, you got to go the middle, you'll get him, and then I think he did it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it back. And I don't know, from the sounds of it, the last corner at the last lap was epic too. So yeah, looking forward to watching it.
Enjoy checking it out, mate. Well done. Congrats on P2 and P1 and Race 1. We'll look for you at the top of the leaderboard next week. David Coleman.
Yeah, fingers
P2
crossed.
and
I
Race
reckon the
2.
field might be a bit tougher, but yeah, fingers crossed. So, all right, boys. Thanks heaps.
Nice work, mate. We'll leave you go celebrate. And of course, our winner this evening in race number 2 joins us in the booth again, Jamie Dyke. Welcome back to the commentary box.
Hey boys, how are we?
Mate, doing well.
Feels like you were
doing
here
well.
just a week ago, Jamie. What's
Does
going
feel
on?
a little that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely, I don't think I should have been here.
No, look, it's played out really nicely. Now, I've got to ask first of all about your pit stop. We were watching for a while there. Danny P was really just walking past everybody with the undercut that he took with that earlier stop. I've got to ask about yours though, because looking at the amount of time you spent in there, it was a really, really quick stop that you did make. Was that intentional, or was that just all you needed by the time you came in?
That was intentional. I just spoke to Danny. He undercut too much, so I don't think he didn't get the fuel that he needed in.
No, ended up a few laps short and ran out on the final corner, unfortunately.
So I was kind of trying to save my tyres as I was like making positions, and once I got behind, I think it was McDonald, I just started fuel saving. I thought if he's going to make a mistake, he'll make a mistake. If not, I'll just sit behind him. And then when he went in, I'm like, right, one lap overcut while he's on cold tyres, let's go. And
put down.
Yeah, ended up saving enough fuel to come out ahead of him.
And comfortably in the end. A 7-second gap is certainly nothing to be too upset about. But of course, that inspired by a little bit of a coming together there in the hairpin, just a couple laps from the end. Did you get much time to jump on the brakes when you saw that unfold in front of you?
Yeah, I did. I had already got told there was a yellow flag there, so I just kind of cautiously came into the hairpin and tried to sight the cars before I, got on the gas.
It was tight though, not a lot of room to work through. So mate, to come out the other side with just a few panel rubs to deal with later, I'm sure the mechanics will be thanking you ahead of next week's race, mate.
Yes, well, I actually I took a fast repair in the stop because I dinged the wall pretty hard in the first.
The wall hit you. If you're going to get to Formula One, mate, you got to know how to speak to the press. Yes.
Blame the walls every time.
So yeah, I think I was chasing down Henry when I hit it exit of the fountain, and I really whacked it.
Nothing.
So
like
that much
a little
damage, mate. You had to jump in the pit road, then get the fast repair. You went in on lap 26. Was that when you got it done?
Yeah, I took it in my stop. It wasn't that much damage, but I was kind of afraid of how much grip I had lost on the front end. So I thought I'll risk it and have a clean car for the second stint.
You also got the fastest lap. The only man that I know of that cracked the 20 mark, your best lap, was a 20.8. Nobody even got that close to that. So actually,
very quick.
yeah. So yeah. What can they do to stop you, mate, Mr. Jamie Dyke? Now this is back-to-back wins.
Be more consistent. No, I didn't have the pace to win tonight. I was just consistent and stay. I didn't make any self mistakes. I don't think. I know Angus, Coleman, and Danny P had pace on me. Had the wrong setup on in heat 1, which didn't help. And then through that second race, I had Coleman coaching me when it was behind me on what to do in which corner.
Yeah, the Coleman corner as well too. There's early names as well. That one I'm not sure about that hairpin, but you got to watch that one back and see how you can go off to the marbles and just accelerate everybody down the main straight to start another lap. But you didn't need that, Mr. Jamie. Like you just need to do what you do best, which is just win.
No, well, I did need it, and yeah, Coleman played a massive role in tonight, so I'll credit to him. Thank you if you're listening.
He certainly was, and if not, he'll catch it on the replay. Jamie Dyke, a fantastic win for you again, cementing your spot at the top of the leaderboard early in the season. Mate, well done once again, and looking forward to hopefully speaking to you again next week.
Where are we at next week, boys?
Oh, well, next week it
we're going to randomise the track.
It gets a little bit hairy next week. I don't know how you feel about Oran Park.
Oran Park.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like it.
There you go. Okay.
Pack your winter gear, mate. A bit chilly.
Yeah, nah.
Don't know about chilly
like
this time of year.
bring on the rain. I love Oran Park.
All right, let's see.
By the way,
next
did
week
you real
brings
quick?
in.
Are you backing off the 24-hour at all? Did you take part of that, or you said
No, unfortunately,
No.
I had to work.
That's why you're so fresh out of the gate on this one, mate.
Actually had some sleep in the last 24 hours. There you go. Well done, Jamie. And yeah, mate, look, Oran Park next week. We will keep a close eye on you and see what you can bring to the table, eh?
Awesome. Sounds fun.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jamie. Go enjoy.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Biggles, that's another round down. Some awesome racing here, despite the smaller field. A tight street circuit. As the sun sets over Long Beach Harbour and the convention centre there, mate, any standouts for you tonight?
Oh, there's a lot of standouts. I mean, first of all, let's just jump in the ocean, mate, and let's start surfing those waves, because there was lots of waves of action here this evening. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, who would have predicted Jamie to crawl his way back into this one and get it done? I mean, the man can win. He knows how to win. He's certainly done it. The David and Daniel show was not a law firm. It was Action Jackson. Michael Angus was in there. Damon McDonald, we can't forget. All these drivers in the top 5 gained massive places there. Aaron Gilbert, he didn't see a lot of him on track there, but he still managed to sneak himself some crucial points there. Jackson Jackson, that I call him as well too. He's there. He gets points. Henry King as well. He was in the spotlight, wasn't it? And he wasn't trying to take a sword out of the stone. The man for the Team Jinx Shifters got himself 5 positions up there, being P8. Nicholas was in the wars a few times. Didn't exactly finish where he wanted to, but he still got crucial points at P9. And to round out the P10 was Robbie Bradbury. So they were there. And to finish this race is just one massive achievement anyway. So
Absolutely.
hats off
Keeping
to
it
these
up
gentlemen.
there.
Hats off to you
Tough
for the
battle.
fantastic broadcast, boss.
Well, always a pleasure, Biggles. Thanks for joining us once again this evening.
Thank you.
And,
Good luck in the silver split to see how that's going to go. I'll be definitely tuning in to watch that one.
Yeah, we'll check that out. Do make sure you've subscribed down below, and you will get notification of the premiere time for the silver split once we get a chance to get that one on the screen in front of you shortly. But otherwise, you and I have a plane to catch. We've got to get back over to Australia ready for next round, mate. So we'll head off to the airport from Long Beach. Enjoy the sunset, folks. Look after yourselves and each other. Do take care. And we will see you again very, very soon for the next round of racing from the MC Motorsport MCV8s. Until then, goodbye for now.